Man, it's been a long week, man. I worked the last 4 days, but I'm okay. It just seemed like it took forever to get to this point. But nevertheless, I'm happy that it's here.
Yeah.
Sound like it's good on Twitch. So we're good to go. We are dual streaming on both platforms, Twitch and YouTube. So if you feel like you can't get the audio or the quality on one, you can go to the other one. You definitely can go to one or the other. I also plan on moving. Maybe I may put this podcast on YouTube Gaming. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I am going to be putting content over there, so be on the lookout for that. I will put the link in the I'll put the link in the YouTube chat box. Or I'll probably put it on the Twitch chat box as well, so you guys can check that out if you haven't already. This is episode 221 of the First and Framerates podcast. Myself, DJ81, Bills may be here. I know he was a little bit under the weather, had a few things going on. That's why he wasn't here last episode. But I think he's going to be here. But I mean, if he shows up, that's all good. It all works out. Today we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson. We also going to talk about what he's been going through as far as his debacle with the Texans. DJ pulled up something about NHL going to FrostBite, and it's something I've been watching for a while. And we're gonna put that up there as well, and gonna talk about that. And we're gonna have some more free agency talk because there are more things that happen in free agency. A couple of players moved around, and we're gonna add our thoughts to what we know now based on what we know on Tuesday. So just to get everything out the way, if you want to catch this podcast on your own device, you want to download it, you can catch it on iTunes, Spotify, and then we're on SoundCloud and Google Play. Plan on moving it to Anchor and Stitcher. That's the next move that I want to do. So I just have to put in the work to do so. Also, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. Also, if you want to look up any merch, you can go to the Teespring link. I'm going to be putting up a sale within the next few days, probably by the end of the week, probably the weekend. I'm going to be putting up a sale because a lot of the winter stuff is going to be going offline because obviously it's going to start getting warmer. So I'm going to be putting the sale up for maybe a couple weeks. So if you want to get any of that merchandise, you can. Outside of that, it's been a pretty good couple of days. I cannot complain. Did a little bit of gaming. Got some ideas in order to move some things around in this room. Pretty much going to turn it into a semi-studio / game room because I have more information. Not more information, but I have more content coming. I don't know if you caught my Twitter. I do have another podcast I'm going to be starting on the 27th. It's the VF Cast. We're just going to be talking about straight gaming, not too much of the sports side of stuff. There's a lot of gaming from Atari 2600 to today. It's a lot of stuff that we can cover under that umbrella, and I want to share my thoughts and opinions as well as some of the topics that go on throughout the week of gaming. So we're going to talk about those things. Also, it's going to be a little personal where we could talk about our personal experiences with gaming. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I think it's going to be a pretty good podcast you guys could check out. All right, enough of me rambling. I'm going to let DJ do his intro because I know he's probably tired of me talking. DJ, what's been going on with you, bro?
Yeah, I've been tired of your shit since day one. It's like so yeah, things have been good. I know the last couple of days just been relaxing, chilling, gaming a little bit, just experimenting with certain things on my computer. Got a chance to check out the Snyder Cut of the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Josh Whedon better hide for the next several months. That original version of Justice League is dead to me. So, and then also, I've been hyping up this fan made film of Batman called "Dying Is Easy" by the group over at their YouTube channel is Bat in the Sun. So they very great portrayal of Batman and Joker by the guy who plays Batman is Kevin Porter. And not a lot of people have heard about this cat, but this cat, I will put him number 5 and moving up as far as portraying Batman. And the dude Aaron Schroenick, who's the channel runner or whatever, plays a really great Joker. So I would definitely recommend that channel, and go check out it's a short film. It's like 25 minutes long, called Batman Dying is Easy. Go check it out.
Okay. Might check that out. I just haven't been into watching television for a while. I just don't watch TV. I want
It's
to,
not
but
on TV, it's on YouTube.
yeah, but that's the thing. It's a television show. Like, regardless, it's like I can't sit and watch stuff. Like, I rarely even watch I'll watch, like, if it's on YouTube. If I can hear it in the background, I'll do it. But I can't just sit and just watch stuff anymore. I don't know why. I just can't. I mean, I try my best, but it has to be like more audio than visual, where I can like listen to it in the background. I mean, I want to, but like even with sports nowadays, I'll like have it on in the background, and if I hear the announcer or the crowd goes wild, there's no crowds, but if something like that happened, then I'll just turn and see what happened. But I just can't sit and watch. I don't know what it is, but maybe it'd be an exception.
And it's funny that as I'm talking about Batman versus Superman is on TNT. The only thing is I can't turn away from the channel because my Verizon Files whatever channel guy is acting up. It won't respond to my remote. I'm trying to get the Wizards game, but
all right.
oh well.
All right, so let's get into it. So, like I said, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson. We're going to talk about NHL, going to FrostBite. We're going to talk about some more free agency moves. Let me see if I want to pull this up. There it goes.
Excuse me.
All right, so let's get into it. Deshaun Watson has been accused of, I can say he's accused. He's facing a lawsuit of 3 lawsuits alleging sexual assaults. Now, this is the thing here. I'm not. And I don't want this to sound wrong because I mean it is. Some people are going to think of it as wrong because of the way how things are, the climate is now.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that if somebody actually been sexual like lawsuits, sexual assault, I feel that you should go to the police with this stuff. I mean, if you're sexually harassed, somebody said something to you, you feel uncomfortable. I get it. If I get the lawsuits on that. But assault is different. I mean, that's like more of the damage to your person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like those things should be going to the law and not trying to get a lawsuit out of it. When that happens, this is when I start to. Did I drop it? My bad. When this happens, that's when I'm just going to say this is the law enforcement person of me. If people don't know, I've been in law enforcement for 7 years prior to start driving trucks. The law enforcement agent inside me says that I question the validity of these claims. And it's not because, I don't believe them. It's just that the way that you're doing it makes me think that there's more to the story or you're adding to the story. Maybe he said something that was out of line and you're blowing it up bigger than what it was. That's where the lawsuit comes in, because lawsuits usually are preponderance of the evidence. You don't have to really,
Right.
you see what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, which is in criminal courts.
Case in point. I was about to say, just to add on, case in point, O.J. Simpson. They found him innocent, found him not guilty in criminal court, but they found him guilty because it was more likely than not that he killed her.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. It's like, when you have preponderance of the evidence, it's much easier to go ahead and get that W in court compared to beyond a reasonable doubt, because you're going to have to put things in order to make the average person or a person that has use common sense to say, okay, that makes it more likely than not that he did what it is. Preponderance of the evidence say it's just a bunch of circumstantial stuff most of the time. So, and on top of this kid is 25. Most people in the football world watch this kid grow up. I don't know if you guys know, he was a ball boy for the Atlanta Falcons. And so at a young age, he's been around the league. It's hard for me to believe for a kid that's been around this long with the integrity of players that are around. And I'm not saying all NFL players have the utmost integrity, but it's hard for me to believe the kid that was brought up around a lot of guys who are professionals would treat women this way. That's just hard for me to believe. Now, you do have some football players, and I don't want to put nobody's name out there, But when you had Antonio Brown go through this situation, yeah, people could say that, he was innocent, and I believe that he was too, but his actions made it a lot harder for people to really like be 100% behind it. Deshaun Watson does not have that issue. You don't hear about Deshaun Watson yelling at women or yelling at the police or doing all this other crazy stuff, beating people allegedly. All this stuff is allegedly, except for the stuff he put on, Antonio Brown put on his social media. Mm-hmm. You don't have this stuff with Deshaun Watson. So even though I believe both men are innocent, and I'm not trying to compare the two, but when you look at both of them, and you look at, I can say both of them, when you look at Deshaun Watson, I don't see an inkling of him doing any of this stuff. And this stuff is like ridiculous. I don't understand it. Well, any one of y'all could go first, because I think, I don't know if the Texans did this. I don't know if somebody's colluding with the Texans. I don't know if it's somebody on the outside playing the hitman for the Texans. I don't know what it is, but whoever did this, I believe is disgusting, because I don't think that it's hard. Like everything I just said about Deshaun, it's very hard for me to believe that he did something like this.
Okay, I'll go ahead first. Actually, before I even do that, do you guys see what?
No, don't say nothing. I'm gonna find out first, because I don't want to respond.
I know Bills is on it. I know he's on his phone right now, but
yeah, I don't want to put that out there.
I know, right? But okay, I am one of the ones that's taking the angle that this is a hit job. This is something that, okay. I don't know Deshaun Watson personally, so I can't judge his character only for what I've seen on the field and any off the field events that have been filmed. So looking at the fact that he's already requested to be traded, he's kind of like put the cold shoulder to the Texans organization. The Texans organization has already been in hot water as far as with dealing with players, bad decisions, trades that have been made that have dealt away star players. Just, circling back to Deshaun Watson, I feel like they're taking a page out of Bruce Allen's book, because I've seen this before happen in Washington, where Bruce Allen, before they let go of Scott McCloughan, they leaked out certain things to the press that all of a sudden he had his alcoholism had returned and he was a drunk and blah, blah, blah. And now we're seeing that it really wasn't him. It was actually everybody else in the organization and all the other stuff. But with Houston, what they've done this, they've done this in stages. They've taken the time to devalue him on the field, and now they're taking their shot off the field. I'm like, the devaluing him on the field was taking away his weapons. That backfired, because this past season, he had one of the best statistical seasons on record since he's been drafted by that team. So now they're taking a shot at his character and kind of entrapping him into this situation where it's like, oh, now teams are probably gonna stop inquiring about me in a trade, because all of a sudden there's all this stuff going on around me, and not a lot of teams want to deal with a player that has all this stuff going around it, whether it's true or not. So this is a major. I'm like 95% sure this is a major hit job. Texans are scumbags anyway.
It's one thing for the Texans to to shun a player. It's one thing to try to make him as an outcast. It's one thing to even, I guess now, since we know what we know about the good old boy system, it's even one thing to actually like put racial undertones on a player. Okay, we get it at this point. But to do this, and if the Texans did this, I guess I'm more desensitized to the racial thing, but I think this right here is even worse, because you're trying to definitely assassinate somebody's character. You're trying to run them through the mud. You're trying to put them in a position where they can never be out in public again. It's one thing to say, okay, I don't like that N-word, or I don't like dealing with black people. Okay, that's one. Okay, all right. What else is new? We deal with that all the time. I ain't gonna say like we as a collective, but we have dealt with that at one point. But to actually put these type of charges out there, if they had something to do with it, I believe this is worse because you can overcome somebody not liking you because of your race. But dealing with this right here, where you can pretty much ruin somebody's life, literally ruin their life, you can make a case where this is much worse. Bills, I want your thoughts.
The worst thing one of these broads can hear when listening to this podcast is I have notes on this. And yeah, I have some notes on this. Some detailed notes on this. Let's start with the lawyer that is working on this case for these 6 Lion broads.
Who is it? Is it Benjamin Crump?
No.
Tony.
No, I'm just messing.
Hold
on.
The name.
Hold on, real quick.
I can just tell
real
you.
Quick, Bill. I'm gonna let you go, but real quick.
Christ.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm not trying to stop you from saying.
You just did.
I'm going to be of the mind that I don't think that they're. No, seriously, I don't want to make it a think that they're actually. No, go. I'll let you go because I don't want to confuse anybody. Just go ahead because I don't think the women are technically going after him, if you know what I mean.
Just let him go.
You there?
Hey, Bills, can you hear us?
I don't think Bills can hear us. I think Bills just dropped. Yeah. I don't know.
I can hear y'all now.
Okay, that's what
the call was delaying for whatever reason.
Okay, no. I get you. Okay, because there's a lot of dead. It was just a lot of dead sound. I just want to. What I was just basically saying. I said I don't think the women are necessarily lying on him, but I'll get to that in a second. I don't even think they came up with the story. I'll put it like that. I just think they're just placeholders.
Yeah, but they're full of shit because they're corroborating with this. So
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I will agree with that.
So let's get to the failed. Let's get to the failed lawyer, the failed politician turned lawyer here. Tony Busby. Sure, the name doesn't ring a bell. Why would it? He's a failed politician that's now a lawyer with a grudge against the star quarterback of his hometown city. Nothing to see here, right? No reason to think that there's a conspiracy. Tony Busby. All right. Tony Busby is an American lawyer and politician. In 2019, he ran for mayor of Houston, Texas, but he lost it to the incumbent. Now he is the lawyer that is running this smear campaign against Deshaun Watson. So let me get into my notes. Why is there always at least a starting 5 and 6 man or woman for these bitches that come out and lie? You know, it's just amazing to me that it can never be one singular one and then others confirm the story of hers. It's always 6 individual stories that turn into, oh yeah, mine's happened like that too. They're full of shit. Secondly, not about the money, but you mentioned saying that it wasn't about the money, right? You also mentioned that they took the required minimum for how much they would get in the civil suit. Well, of course, you're getting paid money under the table to a smear campaign. Why would you need to take the money from the courts? That's bullshit. The fact he had to go out of his way to say that automatically is bullshit to me. It's not about the money. If they say that, it's about the fucking money. Next. Also, the fact they're continuing to do civil suits is clearly a cash grab because they're hoping for a settlement and they're hoping for basically an admission of guilt, much to the, I can compare this to O.J. Simpson and all of the civil suits that were filed where they just wanted something. They wanted an admission of guilt. Well, we got him here. So he has admitted that no, that's not how this works. Let's go to this first screenshot here that I took before because this made me laugh. I don't need fame. This is Busby talking. I don't need fame. And to be quite honest, I say this as modestly as possible. If I never made another penny, I'd be quite okay. Point is, I'm not pursuing these cases for the money. And every woman who has filed thus far has only pled the minimum amount to invoke the court's jurisdiction. Does that sound like somebody who's not about the money? They had to mention money in 1, 2, 3 every sentence? I don't know. It seems like the people lying are the ones that say the most rather than keep their fucking mouth shut about what people claim they're lying about. Just saying. Let's go to the next screenshot. This is basically a fucking testimony of what one of these women, who's named Jane Doe because she doesn't want anybody to find her and beat the hell out of her for trying to smear this man's name. Jane Doe, who claims she was newly engaged and had just graduated chiropractic school, says her mother dropped her off at work and then she met Watson, and that's when she claims things immediately got weird. The woman says Watson insisted she focused on massaging his inner thighs and inner glutes while repeatedly telling her he's a professional football player.
She would have known that before that even happened. You're not going to sit and tell me that she didn't know that he was a professional football player.
How about this? They met in a private Houston, Texas office building. One that he obviously would have, I don't know, somehow had the fucking means to rent out a room there or have enough privacy for any of this to go down in the first place. He has to be somebody important. And if she's from Houston, she would know who the fuck Deshaun Watson is. So that's bullshit. You got to keep repeating he's a football player. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. She claims Watson, quote, got more aggressive and eventually coerced her to move her mouth towards his penis, forcing her to perform oral sex on him.
Stop right there.
Coercing somebody and forcing somebody.
Either way, that's rape. But I'm just saying, you don't go for money when stuff like this. I'm dead serious. This is why I look at it. When you go for money, when you say stuff like this, me personally, I cast doubt and stuff like that, because that's a criminal offense. You take that directly to the authorities.
VF. What? I was just about to get into the differences between these two words. Coercing somebody and forcing somebody are two completely different things.
They are,
coercing is convincing.
I understand.
Forcing is forcing.
I understand, but under the law, both of them are classified as a level of rape.
There's a fine line. I know you're in law enforcement, but just plain English, that's a fine line.
DJ,
I'm telling you, they will charge you with that if you do that. That's all I'm saying.
But DJ, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's not. You're right. Can they prove it? No, but that's what it's classified as.
Okay,
I'm with you.
DJ, let me ask you.
Okay.
If you had to coerce me to be a part of your podcast, are you forcing me if I eventually came along with it and said yes?
No.
Okay. So that's not rape.
Because at the end of the day, it's your free choice. But I'm pulling strings, and eventually you either said yes or no, and then after that,
this is what I'm saying. If you're coercing and you're like verbally abusive to somebody to do something sexually to you, you can be charged with.
Wait a minute, but that hasn't been mentioned here. That's what we're making clear.
Okay, what is the level of coercion? What does it mean? I mean, are you telling them to do it? Are you grabbing them? Or
okay, I'm gonna use an example. I'm laying on the table. She's doing all that, and go ahead. Go ahead, Bills.
Go, DJ. Go ahead.
Okay, so if I'm laying on the table getting a massage, and she's like, massaging me between my thighs or whatever she's doing. She's probably doing just my quads or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if I'm like, oh man, it is, man, you made me feel so good. Could you move it a little inward a little bit? Just, yeah. Oh, that feels good. I feel a little tighter. Like that's in a way, it's a subtle form of coercion.
Yeah, it is.
It's still
That's why
But
I was
here's the
asking you what
thing.
level it is,
But here's
because I
the
mean, if
thing.
you say forcefully, that is a form
But-
of.
Here's the thing, but she's starting to cross or walk that professional, ethical line. She knows as a professional, especially as a massage therapist or chiropractor, there's certain lines that you're not even supposed to cross.
I agree.
Even if you're
But wait a
being
minute.
coerced.
But wait a minute.
You guys just have to be careful. Don't
Well,
think
that's
that's
what
going to
we're
be.
trying to.
I know. I'm just letting you know. Don't think that will be a defense, because they will tag your ass with that if you think that's okay. I'm just letting you know.
Now, DJ,
I'm not saying that you guys are wrong, but I'm just letting you know how the law works. They will try to tag you with that if you think that, oh, I just said it and I may said it in a certain way, but that's not. No, they're going to try to get you with that. I'm just letting you guys know that.
Now, DJ, here's the thing. Now, I'm a strong believer of using words according to how they're meant, according to how the definition is. If there's multiple definitions, you can use any of those definitions, but we're not gonna. Okay. So here's my thing. There's no point of coercion that is physical or forceful. Coercion is convincing somebody. Forcing somebody is forcing somebody. Coercion crosses the line into forcing once it gets aggressive. If he coerced her,
that's what I was saying.
But she said coerced her to suck his dick. How do you then come after the fact and say forced?
Stop.
You can't, because
hold on. Stop right there. You said there are levels to it when you said coerce, because it could be one way. It could be like subtle, and then like you said, it doesn't turn into that unless if it turns forceful. If you just said that blanket statement, it could go either way.
But
I said coercion goes into forcefulness. Coercion can't be forcefulness.
Based on the level of aggression that is asked.
But coercion shouldn't be used here if there was a level of force, and that's the point of using
it. Shouldn't
use the right word.
That's right. It shouldn't. That's why you have to be careful, because when it is used, it is the discretion.
Yeah, but shouldn't the one that should be careful about that? Shouldn't it be the person that's making the accusation?
Is the person making the claim?
Wait a minute.
Exactly.
But you're right. But wait a minute. When you're making a civil case, what do you have to prove? The preponderance of the evidence. Exactly. So you can be as vague as.
Here's the thing.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You can be as vague as you want.
If there's a conflict between two words, then that breeds doubt even to that.
It breeds doubt when you're looking at it from a criminal case. When you're looking
at
civil,
it also breeds doubt from a civil case as well.
It can, but look at the level of it. The level of doubt is much, much less in a civil case. That's why they're doing this civil case. See, when you do a civil case like this, you can say words like that because
we're already at the civil case. There was no criminal, so this is where they're working from.
But I'm just saying, this is exactly what Bill said. She should not have used the word coerce. If you're looking at it from a criminal side, yes. Civil, you almost as if all bets are off, because you don't have to prove that much.
She was better off saying forced.
But
right, I agree with you. But when it's a civil case, all that stuff, any kind of stuff can be thrown to the wall and hope it sticks. That's why they go the civil route.
But let me finish reading this, because I'm going to read that sentence exactly as it's typed. Watson coerced her to move her mouth towards his penis, forcing her to perform oral sex. So, we're saying that he convinced you to move your mouth towards his penis. You said, all right, cool. And then he forced you to suck.
How do we know she said all right? How do we know she said all right, cool?
Because he convinced her. If you convince somebody to do something, that means consent.
Bills, I get what you're saying, but let me tell you how a lawyer is going to play that. In that entire statement, that doesn't say anything about her actions.
I'm telling you how that. But I'm not. We're not talking about law. We're talking about the quote as regular human beings with a brain.
But when you have a lawsuit, you have to think about the law.
But we're not in the lawsuit. We're talking about it as human beings reading the sentence and what we get from it. This is like saying DJ coerced me to be on the podcast forcing me to speak on topics like politics. No, he didn't. He convinced me to be on a fucking podcast, and I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then he magically no, we're talking about this in actuality, not in the
okay. If you're talking about it in actuality, that's fine. I get what you're saying, but I'm letting you guys know when this lawsuit comes to the judge, that's the type of stuff that's going to happen. So don't be surprised when bullshit hits the fan.
And that's fine, but we're just saying, this is my claim that this is bullshit. This is what we're going over here.
Hold on, we all three of us know it's bullshit.
Okay, but that's
I know the intricate reasons why it's bullshit. All I'm saying is to get around the bullshit, our listeners need to know why they're still trying to make the bullshit relevant because of these little loopholes that
we already know that the court system is against African American males in the first place. So we already
I don't think the court system is going to be against Deshaun Watson on this one. I think he's going to be fine.
So let me finish this article.
Yeah.
The woman claims she never consented to the sex act. Bitch, you just did. You just did. And actually, quote, blacked out for a few minutes from.
Wait, hold up, blacked out.
I wanted to read it just so you can hear that part, and that's not even the end of it. There's two more sentences after
that right there. That kills the entire case.
Yeah,
that kills the entire case.
Coercion, forced, blacked out.
Those
are all conflicting.
No. But this once again, this goes back to what I'm saying. Just like you said that she agreed after he convinced, she blacked out. Now Deshaun has an outlet said, how the fuck she passed out? I did nothing to her because nothing was said.
Hold on, though. Here's the other thing. If she blacked out for a few moments due to fear, then like you said, so much of what she's saying could technically go back to her not remembering. So her testimony automatically goes out the window because now it could be like, well, you said yes, and then you blacked out because you're being a little bitch, and then you were sucking my dick right before that. So how are you to tell me that you weren't convinced? Anyway, let me keep going.
King David got it perfect right there. You're trying to go for the trifecta of bird words, and it kills the case.
That's why I took this screenshot. It has all of the buzzwords in there. Now let me get to this one. Y'all are gonna love this sentence. In her suit, the woman claims she was so terrified she defecated on herself.
See, people react to situations a certain way, but
that's shock value.
You blacked out and you defecated on yourself.
That's shock value.
Wait, hold up.
This wouldn't even make a Hollywood fucking script. That's
this is what I'm saying. So you tell me, let's get this straight. You're gonna tell me that
you said it exactly like a police officer.
Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. You was coerced, convinced, and forced to the point where you blacked out and defecated yourself. Now I got a question.
At no point,
you blacked out.
No, wait.
Oh man.
You were coerced, then forced, never consented, then blacked out of fear. Then shot yourself.
But see, this is the thing. Now, like I said, I don't want anybody to think that we don't. I'm not the type of person that don't believe women, but you got to look at it from an angle like this story makes absolutely no sense, because if she did all of this, now we're going to look at her and ask, okay, what did he do to make you do this?
Now, hold on.
Even if it's verbal, like I said, verbally can be a form of verbal words can be a form of saying, hey, you raped this person. Did he touch you? Because see, now
touching him.
Exactly. Now I'm saying, you got to think how this stuff is adding up, because we already know Deshaun Watson's cat. Well, I ain't gonna say we know his cat.
I'm about to say,
but you're gonna have to go back. You're just gonna. I mean, they're gonna do it too. Like, they're gonna go back in his past, and they're gonna probably figure out who he's been dealing with, the type of person he was. And from what we see, like I said in the beginning, he has no inkling of having this type of behavior. So now we're gonna ask, what did he do to you to make you do this? If he verbally just said this, once again, the preponderance of the evidence, do this make any sense that you think they'll win a case based on the preponderance of the evidence? This makes no sense.
Here's the issue I have with this. Okay. So DJ was talking before about crossing a line as far as professionalism versus, getting into a personal affair with somebody, right?
Right.
Yeah, because that was a question with I know he paused for a second. That was a question with Antonio Brown and his personal trainer.
What the fuck?
I was looking at it that way too.
We can hear you, but you're frozen.
Yeah. Okay, now you're back.
But see, this is what
there is a delay.
Yeah, he has a delay. But this is why I said what I said about Antonio Brown. Even though Antonio Brown, I believe he's 100% innocent. I believe. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have to. Yeah, we can hear you, but you're on a delay. I believe that
cut out for a second. Go ahead.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't believe the women or whatever, but when you look at everything that happened, I don't think Antonio Brown did what he did. But when you look at the outside stuff, like the stuff, all the shenanigans he was doing, it can cause doubt in some people. Even if this went to a jury trial and it was actually criminal, he could have been in trouble.
So here's what
you see what I'm saying?
So
but Deshaun Watson don't have this issue. We don't see this type of behavior from him.
So here's what I was saying about crossing the line with professionalism. I know, my mother knows rather, somebody that's really close to the Kevin Spacey case with the kid that got
right. I know you're talking about.
And that kid started to show so many holes in that case. They wouldn't turn in the phone. They wouldn't show the messages that were on his phone. He's sitting there like, oh my God, Kevin Spacey's hitting on me. It's like, well, you could have got up and left right when you sent that text. But he's like laughing about it and ha ha ha. And then the other thing is, there's so many people around. They knew he worked at the bar. They knew he was underage. They kept bringing him drinks. The thing is, crossing the line between professionalism and, at this point, what would you consider as enabling? Pretty much enabling at that point is where I start to not feel sorry for you. Because here, she, in her own story, is kind of alluding to her crossing that line between professionalism into enabling some sort of opening for this to happen. And
not only that, Bills, you have stuff that just clearly omitted out of your story. How could you go to this, you blacked out and you defecated on yourself? Like, what happened between that time? I mean, did he just say these words and he may have said it? Let's just go play along. He actually said it forcefully to make you pass out and defecate. Now, come on now. Deshaun Watson's a quarterback. He does have a cadence when he's under center. But who has that type of cadence? I know some drill sergeants don't have that kind of cadence to make you pass out and do shit like that. Well, that don't make sense.
Here's now DJ's a personal trainer. Obviously, he's not a massage therapist. He's not a massage therapist. He's a personal trainer, right?
Wait, the two are close as far as
they are.
No, I know.
You're talking about like personal contact. Yeah. If we want to look at it in
that's why I brought that up, right? So, okay, this is how, to me, this interaction should have went based on the testimony of her and the other 5 women. They claim he does it the same way every time. They walk in, he has a towel on that's basically only covering his butt. He turns over, boom, there goes his dick. You're telling me if you were basically just in this to be professional and give him a massage, you wouldn't say something like, well, we didn't discuss that part prior, or try to leave and he forced me to stay. No, we haven't heard any of that. We heard
exactly.
We skipped all that and we got to the part where he asked me to massage his inner thighs and boom, he wanted me to suck his dick. So for me, like you said, there's a lot of holes in this, because if I'm a person that's thinking, DJ, for example, right? You come over, you're going over to a client's house and this client goes and she opens the door, she's fucking naked. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, there's a...
Put your clothes on. She refuses. What does she do? She grabs you by the dick. You're like, what the fuck? You try to leave. She says, look, I'm Serena Williams. I don't know where the fuck you think you're going. That would make more sense than she answered the door naked. I thought it was weird. Weird flex, but okay. That's what she basically did here. Turned over. I saw his dick. It was weird, but come on, dude.
Honestly, I'm like, I'm opening myself up here to this, but just as a person who indulges in a little bit of porn every now and then, that seems like a scene out of Black. I'm like, it's not to make light of the whole situation, but to have that setup. I see that they have a category of porn that's like massage therapy. It's like they went on there and looked and see, oh, that's how I go. Okay, I can say this happened. Oh, okay, let's go to court now.
And for anybody wondering why I am so skeptical automatically, remember, I'm the same guy who told you that LaShawn McCoy's BM was full of shit. And then she came out and said, well, LaShawn McCoy got me jumped and kicked out. And then you come to find out she was stealing shit. He didn't get her jumped. She got kicked out because she was stealing shit, and he had nothing to do with kicking her out of the crib. So I'm just saying, Von Miller came out and said that he wished a miscarriage on her, and came to find out a week later, she said it never happened. So this is why I'm skeptical when I hear bullshit like this, because when you think about the situation that he's in, the timing of it, the fucking relationship between the lawyer and the owner, the lawyer in the entire city of Houston. I don't know if Deshaun Watson has a no trade clause. If he does, this makes even more sense, because he has a limited amount of teams he wants to go to. They can't get a trade done. They're trying to drop his value and then drop him and have an excuse for it, just like the fucking Patriots did. And I don't care. Anybody tell me I'm wrong about how they did AB. They silenced themselves, separated themselves, dropped him, and said, we don't have to pay you a fucking cent because you went against your contract. But mind you, he never was proven to be guilty. So here, this is what Watson.
Right, and this is why I have a problem with it. Now, I try to look at both sides, and when we talked about what he said to her, I'm just letting you guys know what could be classified as what once it goes. Well, obviously, if it goes to a criminal case, which is not, but they will try to say stuff like this to make things stick. But this entire situation just seems very, very, very wrong. I don't know. They said he had like 2 other people that said something against him.
Up to 6.
Yeah, this is something I don't know every case. I don't even know what the stories are, but this one right here, this one just smells. This one is terrible.
They're all the same. They claim literally it says basically that everybody's corroborating the story here. That
are they corroborating this story, or they're making their own version, or they're making their own version of this story?
Not the throw up and whatever, but all 6 of them are basically saying that it happens the same way. They walk in.
Okay.
He has
So they're all massage therapists or chiropractors.
Apparently.
Come on, man. Come on,
really?
Come on now. Listen, and the thing is, I know a lot of people here probably listen to us and be like, "Oh, these are a bunch of mess." Listen, you got to really think about this real quick. If something really happened to somebody, I'm definitely for the utmost. I want to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law, but we got to use some common sense and be like, wait a minute, some of these stories, or this story in particular, don't even sound like anything close to what they're trying to make it out to be. It's like they're sticking stuff up against the wall and seeing if it sticks. This is why it's very dangerous when civil cases come up. I think somebody else, like King David said.
Okay.
He said there's immediate red flag when Me Too cases are civil and not legal. Right, exactly. Somebody else, let me look at another one I put up here earlier. State of franchise is a lot easier to get a lawsuit than criminal. It's very, very dangerous when they do this, because you hear this type of story like this. Trust me, if this was criminal, they would have probably had some physical evidence. She would have probably had some bruises, or something would have happened. She probably would have got a Monica Lewinsky situation, not trying to be funny, but you would have had some type of evidence to go along with a criminal case. And it'll be very difficult for Deshaun to wiggle out of this. But when you have a story like this, and you have 6 people that are saying similar to the same thing, or the story went the same way, Look, I feel at that point, you have to question the validity of what's going on, because the way things were set up, like you said, Bills, the way things that are going on between the Texans, the lawyers and all this stuff, it makes you think about, okay, are they just trying to get rid of this kid because they can't under their own terms? Which I said earlier, I think this is worse than you're just being a racist and you just don't like him for being, black, or you think you're superior. You're trying to ruin this person's life to the point where they can possibly not get it. Let's say, for instance, this stuff sticks. You probably have a situation where Deshaun probably would never play football again, if it did.
Yeah, especially because the NFL is investigating now, and the Texans are like, "Oh, we did our job."
Well, right. It's one thing you don't like me because I'm black. Okay, all right, whatever. That we know that, but to do this, you're basically killing off his livelihood without even killing him.
So I misspoke before. 3 of the suits are the same, which are this scenario. Mm-hmm. Apparently, the other 3 aren't. Now, the 3 that have been filed are basically claimed this same scenario, and then the other 3 aren't. So they're different, apparently.
Okay.
So I'm reading here. Yeah, while the first 2 suits contained allegations of Watson pressing to sexualize his therapy and attempting to get masseuses to touch his genitals, the 3rd suit claims. Okay, that's the one we read. So.
See, massage, the whole thing with massage therapy is already sensual, sexual in the beginning. That it's a fine line. It's just like we literally are a bad interaction away from being dragged into court for inappropriate anything. You realize that, right? Like, somebody can come back years later, somebody that you was previously in a relationship with can come back years later and be like, well, that person coerced me to do this and I want money. All of us are literally like, and it could be consensual at that point in time, but then all of a sudden years later, like I said, that one bad interaction or that, desperation can creep in, whatever. But obviously, I don't think this is the case, because obviously this is coming from the Houston Texans trying to ruin this man's career because he went up against the establishment. Their egos were bruised because he doesn't want to play for the team anymore. You basically handicapped him on the field, and he defied that. So now you're just doing it the other way.
All these buzzwords are crazy. Violated, shaking, and ashamed. She claims she was left. Violated, shaken, and ashamed. I mean, it's like, it sounds like the closing statement to a jury, where
I'm right there with you, SD.
Your teeth the whole time, and this is the last plea.
I'm gonna be honest, and I don't care what anybody says. I do not believe Deshaun Watson did this.
And then
I just cannot believe this. This kid has been nothing but a model citizen. Go ahead, DJ. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, and on top of that, I'm like, the Houston Texans, they're not just devaluing Deshaun Watson in this case, they're also devaluing the fact that women need to come forward with allegations of
this is what I'm saying,
touching, rape, and stuff like that. Because it's like, the more you have the cry wolf syndrome happen, the less effective other women down the road, and some men, because statistically more women are victims than men, but it makes those claims less effective because you have situations like this here.
This is why I said the women that are involved, I don't even think that, like I said, I think they're just in it for a payday. I don't think they care about any. I don't even think that I don't even think that they did anything. I think they're just a part. They're a placeholder. That's what I believe. I don't believe. I would not be surprised if Deshaun Watson comes outside and never met these women. I would not be surprised at that, because you got to think about it. The Texans already set all this stuff up the way it is. Mm-hmm. Who's to say? You see what I'm saying?
And plus, like Bill's highlighted, the connections are too close to the ownership group. I'm like, the lawyer has a relationship with the ownership group. And it's just like, come on, really? You,
And let
you
me
really,
address something
yeah.
else.
Yeah, that too. I mean, it's like that. That's like a conflict of interest.
Yeah, let Bills go. He
Let me
just
No, he
address
go. He
something else
go.
that pisses me off is when people say you should automatically believe the victim
Oh no,
when
we
they
not
come
doing
out with claims
no.
like this. It's like, okay, how's that working out for fathers who have to pay child support for kids that ain't there?
Man, do not go down. Oh my God.
No,
I mean, I
because here's the
know.
thing.
I'm just saying. I don't pay child support. You know, but look, I've dealt with so many cases where I had to go to these guys' houses and arrest these guys for doing stuff for people. $100 behind, $50 behind, and we got to go arrest this guy and lock him up. It's ridiculous. Oh my God, I'm
forget
not going there.
about
Oh my
behind,
God.
well, you don't
not
have to go
even
there.
their kid.
Oh no, I'm not. That's deeper in the hole. I'm not even going there.
That's what I'm saying. So when they talk
that makes
about
me heat. It makes me heated because it's been times where guys, you want them to be locked up because they're a few $100 behind on child support. You didn't get your, or whatever the case may be. Now this person can't work, but you think that's a good thing because he can't work, and you need this money for child support. And in some cases, like you said, the child's not even there. I really don't want to go down that rabbit hole. That really pisses me off because I've dealt with that. I've seen men go through that, and I was a part of it because I felt like I was a bad part of the system because I had to take them in because of that.
that's what I'm saying. So when they say believe the victim automatically, what if the victim turns out to be the person that's being accused? How about that? How about because that's the thing. And also the people that are not willing to understand why I have my pessimism are also part of the problem. They pretend that there's no reason to have pessimism about these stories. How can you sit and pretend there's no reason to? We've seen this manifest itself so many times in front of our eyes.
But this is the reason why they go civil. This is why. This is another reason why they go civil. This is why, because when it's criminal, when it goes criminal, you have to do a thing called discovery. You have to do a lot more digging. You have to do a lot more digging to find out what happened. When it's civil, like I said, this is why the story she said they throw it up against the wall and hope it sticks. That's why I was telling you when what she said, what Deshaun Watson said verbally. Be careful of that, because in a civil case, that type of stuff get men caught up to they actually having to pay or they have to settle because of that one small beginning of that statement. That's why I want to let you guys know that it's bullshit, but I want everybody to know that that type of stuff, that small little wording right there, can really ruin a guy financially. Criminally, they'll dismiss this case on something like that.
Bro, we saw a female text Ezekiel Elliott, "I'm going to ruin your career." And she was full of shit. Knowing she was full of shit. That's why I have pessimism. Because
stop right there.
Always try to do this shit.
What did she say? She's going to ruin his career. Don't care if he's locked up or whatever.
No.
It was all civil. And when it's civil, what you do? You say bullshit for it could be preponderance of the evidence, and that's how they get them. Because like I said, that's why I say watch the wording of what some of this stuff says. I'm just going to take this one step further. We can go to another topic after this. You can make the case that that's what got Bill Cosby fucked up. The words.
And wait a minute. And here's the other thing. People who think we're tripping about, or think I'm tripping because I brought it up, about folks will view your settlement in civil court as an admission of guilt.
O.J. Simpson.
Look at how people view, and I said O.J. Simpson before, Vince McMahon, the NFL and CTE. We've seen this before.
All these civil cases, it's not just with women and men in sexual assault, just civil cases in general.
Yeah.
It's all about the wording. It's not about, this actually happened. All you have to do is word it to make the judge, if it's just a judge trial or a jury trial, all you have to do is just convince them to think, okay, 51% of my mind think this is accurate. You're going to pay $200,000.
Bro, Owen's Hart family took, Vince McMahon to court so many times, won a bunch of civil suits, and everybody said, well, that means Vince is basically admitting to killing Owen. No! I mean, that's not what that means.
Right. No, it doesn't.
The steroid trial, he got lucky. But shit, if anybody had the right to sue him, he wouldn't have been so fucking lucky.
Complimentary Sports says you guys are amazing lawyers. That is a lie. We're not.
I could be.
I'm telling you,
I just don't want to go through school and years of that.
I feel like I have the gift of gab and I can talk. I can put things together, but no.
Man, the judge would be like, VF, why are you grandstanding? Your client's guilty.
Like, listen, you get a traffic ticket. You want me to defend you? You're asking me on death row from a traffic ticket. No,
the only thing I'd be good. The only thing I'd be good enough at doing is finding somebody in some bullshit. But I'm not doing the research, and that's why they hire a lot of people to, sift through the evidence a lot of times.
Well, everyone knows I'm good at deflection, so I can probably win a lot of my cases based on that. But like, what about that guy? I seen that guy litter.
We're gonna jump over the NHL, but I will say this: I am a fan of the criminal justice system. I love to watch how it plays out. I love to watch how. No, I'm telling you. Before when I was in college, I was one of the kids that would go down to the courtroom and just watch how cases play out. I don't know. I guess it's the art of communication and the art of trying to prove a case has always been fascinating to me. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm a nerd like that, but I'm a big fan of. So when I watch it and I know, like when I hear about these cases or I hear about the complaints, I can see what's what and what's not going to be just by listening to it. So it's like, that's why, and that it's not intentional, Bills. It's one of the reasons why I was stopping what you were saying, because I wanted people to understand, like, okay, this means this means that, and overall, this is going to be either full of shit or it's going to actually have some weight to it. Oh, I don't see how this has weight at all. I don't see it.
And just to let everybody know, I do have a background in communication studies. That's what I got my degree in. So
I think my debating skills would be my only good suit for being a lawyer.
Well, that's the central theme for being a lawyer.
Right, it is.
Debate.
It is.
Yeah. It's all it is debate. And there's a definite winner and a loser. There's no middle ground.
Right.
SD says, we live in a crazy time. Know your rights. I study criminology and college laws change a lot. Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. But one thing that the laws change a lot. This is why I say what I said about the rape thing. At one point, that was not the case. When you said what you said, it could be classified. And it also based on discretion of the judge or the prosecutor or whatever. They may not think of it, but there's been times where coercion has been, basically... coercion has been basically touted towards kidnapping and hostages sometimes, and they don't even have them tied up or necessarily hold them against their will. It's just the verbal side of it. All they have to do is say, I felt this way when he said that. Oh, that's kidnapping. Well, the door was open. No, you said this, so we're going to charge you with this. It's all about how you say certain things and the way it comes across and how a victim takes it. That's why I say be very wary about what she said, Deshaun said, because based on discretion and history, those type of things have been taken that way.
I have a question since we're on this topic, and this might be a heavy topic, but we talk about shit on here, so it kind of is what it is. I'm just going to put it out there. How do y'all feel based on what you just said, which was, the language meaning a lot, and how do you people? How do you two feel? I was thinking about that. I'm looking at the chat and saying you people.
Like,
how do you two
racist.
feel? Well, the chat can answer too. No, but the chat can answer this too. How do you two feel about a person that, I guess, in a way, convinces an individual to commit suicide being charged with murder? What's y'all's stance on that?
Say that one more time. I was reading, so I'm sorry.
So, if a person convinces another person to commit suicide, do you think the person that convinced that person to commit suicide should be charged with murder? This has been a controversial topic.
Yeah,
on my Facebook.
They should, but Defense lawyer,
wow.
no, defense lawyers defensive lawyers or defense lawyers are beasts. They're good at what they do. This is what you have: assisted suicide, which is a crime, and they'll end up being charged with that. Should they be charged with murder? Yes, absolutely. But defense lawyers, they do their job very well to get clients off of certain charges, and in some cases they settle down, or they'll knock the charge down to settle for assisted suicide or involuntary suicide or those type of things. And now, since that's the case, since a lot of lawyers have been able to do that, that's kind of like the standard of what happens when somebody tells somebody to commit suicide. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it should be that way. Like I said, it should be murder, but it's been talked down to the point where that's basically precedent now.
Yeah, but don't they have like?
And I'm not talking about and just for the record, I ain't talking about being in an argument with somebody and say, "Hey, why don't you kill yourself?" No, I mean like,
they'll
somebody
use that.
Trust.
Oh, they'll use it, yeah.
And no, but I'm saying but I'm saying like I'm sure they'll use it, but I'm talking more so about somebody trusting you, confides in you to talk them off that ledge, and you instead go the opposite way and don't do that. I'm talking more so about that specific situation, not like that's more, I'm talking shit and we're just catching wreck.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, I've known there's been cases like that, but I agree it should be, but it's been talked down, or there's been so many cases that involuntary assisted suicide has been agreed upon based on plea agreements. That's kind of like the standard now. Do I agree with it? No, but I mean that's just how it is in the court of law in most cases throughout the country.
I'm like,
but I'm with you. I think it should be.
Honestly, there are exceptions to that.
Why did you stand here? Good.
I know there are exceptions to that. I know, just like I guess with abortion, how certain states have taken the time to make it illegal for late term and also even etch into midterm. Except in cases of maybe something that's terminal or life-threatening.
Right.
If the person is not a professional, then I think
that plays a factor too. Yep.
So if that person is a professional, like a doctor, a psychiatrist, whatever it may be, they will have to work in tandem. Obviously, there'll be more than two people. It's going to get tricky even with that. If it's something that I'm like, people are like, it's tricky because you do have instances where, assisted suicide can be considered pulling the plug on life support when all hope fails. When there's no way to bring that person back. That's also a form of assisted suicide.
It is. You're right. Bills, you froze up again.
No, he's standing still.
I thought he was going to say something. I thought he was going to say something because I want to go ahead and jump over. I want you to go ahead and start the topic of NHL because I think this was a really good topic overall. Not only just with the Deshaun Watson, like I think not Tadal, but SD said that like you need. I think a lot of us as men, and in some cases women as well, you need to know your rights when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, you got to be very careful about how you deal with people on that level. I mean, you're just gonna have to have an understanding of what's going on, and if things go left, you have to be mindful of your actions. If it does go left, it's you really have to be mindful of that.
One last thing, I know if Deshaun Watson escapes from all this unscathed, he gonna look at the text and be like, you motherfuckers catching cases. No, every single last one of you motherfuckers, I'm gonna sue all y'all for defamation.
There's no way he's going back to play for that team at this point.
Well, he's not going to go back and play for the team. He went out of there. He's about to be out of there. It's one of those things where he can come back. He should sue the fuck out of that team for
defamation, slander, libel,
slander. Yeah, everything. Throw the book at the Texans. Screw
So
them. Screw that
here's
organization.
my view on this assisted suicide situation, because I'm torn between logic and morality. Now, morality tells you, of course, why would you assist somebody that is clearly on the brink of doing something that they would regret and hurt many others? Why would you tell them to do that? But see, the issue becomes, on the contrarian side, somebody could argue, well, look, it's not my job, right? There are people that are hired to do this. I'm not one of them. So it's weird because like VF said, they can find ways to circumvent so much of that morality that people try to insert into these situations.
That is exactly what happened. Yeah, that's exactly what happened in a lot of cases under those circumstances. I mean, look at the Michael Jackson case.
Yeah.
See what I mean? It's the same thing. Look at the Michael Jackson case. I mean, Michael Jackson wanted to be doped up to the point where he couldn't feel anything, and the doctor did it. And you see where the doctor is now. It's like,
no, I think Sony has something to do with that. Because
I can agree, but
they've been after his catalog for quite some time.
I agree, but I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, on the surface, between those two individuals, you kind of see what happened there. It's like, you know, so it's something that you really have to think about, like the levels of it, because I'm pretty sure there was one time that this was going to be the case where they could have a person could have caught murder charges, but it's so much gray area between that and that. They'll say, hey, let's just call it involuntary suicide. Prosecutor and defense team says yes, okay, this person gets 8 years or something. You know, it's just something like that. You know, just because it. In some cases, you don't want to overcharge, and in some cases, you don't want to charge something to where it cannot be proven and the prosecution lose their case. That's why a lot of plea agreements do happen that way. Before we go to NHL, because I got to step off for a second. I got to get something to drink. I want to put this out here. Tadal said, as a professional athlete and a star at that, they should have cameras throughout their homes to protect themselves against stuff like this. Just my opinion. I agree.
It wasn't his home.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
his home, though.
No, it wasn't. But I mean, just to protect yourself. I've heard people say do a certain situation.
It's just not really.
Yeah, some people say, like, if you, especially with like sexual encounters, a lot of people say if you live in that lifestyle or whatever where you are, like you live in that lifestyle, they say that you should record all your encounters just for stuff like this. I've heard people say that because of what's been going on with the Me Too. So. Complementary sports, how they can prove this, it's not about proving it when you do a civil case. It's just not,
especially in today's climate. All you gotta do is put it on social media and have 20 people repeat the same thing. 9 times out of 10,
or maybe 11 times out of 10, in a civil case, you only need one person to convince, and that's the judge.
So I know I talked about the NFL on Tuesday. Are we gonna talk about it again tonight, or?
Yeah. We're gonna, once we finish the NHL, possibly going to FrostBite, we're gonna do some more free agency stuff. So we're gonna talk about that as well. DJ, matter of fact, shout out to everybody who participated in the topic. It was pretty cool. DJ, go ahead and let people know what your thoughts about that. I'm about to go get something to drink. I'll be right back.
Okay, so the NHL, it was revealed. Actually, shout out to SGO. They actually had it. It was an article that they had that was a part of their Patreon. Originally, it was behind their Patreon, but they made it public. And then I know they released the video earlier just to reiterate the fact that according to, I guess, a job listing, or not job listing, but job description by one of the engineers that are working on NHL, one of the things he listed that he was working on was the NHL 22 migration to FrostBite for NHL 22. Since discovering this and seeing this, it's been changed. It's no mention of NHL. And just to let you know, I am repeating what I heard from SGO because that's the source that I'm using here. Okay. So that's the source that I'm using here. And a lot of folks, I know people that have had NHL been waiting for them to migrate over to the FrostBite engine. I know so far FIFA's transferred over to FrostBite. Madden's transferred over to FrostBite. At first, it was Rory McIlroy because that was like the guinea pig for FrostBite with sports games. They were already using it with their first-person shooter games with Battlefield. And I don't know what's going to happen with live because we haven't heard anything other than the fact that potentially Scott OG is going to be working on it. And that's potentially. That's not for sure. They
Not
could,
confirmed, right?
Right. They could put him on like the franchise mode for Madden because he is knowledgeable in both areas, but I digress. So this is kind of putting it out there that NHL is making this long overdue move to FrostBite. Not confirmed, just to reiterate, because even SGO, they even say not confirmed. So that's not confirmed. But let's just say it is confirmed, and that's what they're doing, because nobody goes through, if think logically about this, no one goes through the time to delete the stuff that was previously on there unless they were working on the stuff that was on there that they deleted. So with NHL 22 going to FrostBite, same expectations I had for Madden, I'll have for NHL. I think.
Do you think? I got a question. Do you think they should go to FrostBite?
I've answered this before, and I said no previously. I'm sort of opening it up because I feel like graphically they could use a remake. They could revamp all that, make it look nice. Graphically, I feel like NHL could improve from the migration to FrostBite. I don't really see much of a, if they don't really change anything in the gameplay, because really, as far as gameplay, I don't think the FrostBite has proven that it doesn't really affect the gameplay, because I feel like they secretly keep the Ignite engine to control the gameplay aspect of it. But I think they're aiming just for the graphical upgrades, environmental upgrades, presentation-wise. They can possibly do a lot of stuff. But if they, and it is EA Canada or Vancouver, as they like to call it, and the migration over to FrostBite for FIFA is actually pretty damn good, minus, the defensive logic. I don't know, Bills. I don't know if you've played it within the last FIFA 21. I know next gen. So that's been an eyesore. You can tell by his reaction that it's Pez is still beaten, and Pez is about to switch engines. So this seems like this is the year that some of these key games that a lot of us will play, other than Madden and 2K, they're switching engines. Pez is moving to the Unreal Engine. So
really, so they weren't they under the Fox engine?
Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff
that's gonna be interesting, because Fox engine actually is a damn good engine. Why would they go to Unreal? I guess Unreal is a.
Just to throw this out. Go ahead, DJ. Yeah, just to throw this out there. You guys seen me play Scum, right?
Yeah. The Harriet Tubman game.
Yeah, I know. Did you notice how that person was running?
Terrible.
Yeah.
You said terrible.
It was terrible.
No. The way I was moving it was terrible. But when you actually get in how you control that character, I see a possibility. If the engineers do well, if they were able to do well with the Fox engine, and the Fox engine at first was horrible until it got to the later generation of consoles.
Stop right there, DJ.
Oh boy.
One of our first supporters finally showed back up. How you doing, Chris Thomas? Good to see you. No, that's it. Chris Thomas been here since day one. I think he's been here before we was even live. I can't even remember, but
right, he was part of the comic crew.
Chris Thomas ain't been back since the Bucks win the Super Bowl, that motherfucker been celebrating like crazy.
No, he's been going before that. I think the last time he was here when Pelican Man was around.
Brady.
Oh, shout out to Pelican Man. Pelican Man was in my last gaming stream the other night, so he's still alive. Yeah, yeah, he was in my when I did the Ninja Turtle stream. He showed up in the Ninja Turtle stream. Shout out to Pelican Man.
He don't come here anymore because he know he'll get abused.
Right, I know, right? But he showed up. He's still around. But shout out to Chris Thomas. Good to see you, bro.
Yeah. So just to bring it back to NHL.
Look at this.
Oh,
keep talking.
Oh no, it's Doug Thomas.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he's been in my streams, but I've been on a 2-week hiatus. So he was in the last one last week. So, but to bring it back to NHL, I'm keeping my same expectations that I had when Madden moved to FrostBite. Graphical upgrades, environmental upgrades. They're not going to have anything weather-wise because they're indoors unless they incorporate those outdoor stadiums that's on the online portion, which I think is bullshit. They should have an outdoor stadium for
that. Would be dope if they had the outdoor stadiums or arenas and it'd be snowing or whatever. That'd be pretty dope.
They did have the outdoor arenas available for offline play in past NHLs, and of course NHL 2K had them before they.
Yeah, they did. They did.
So
they did.
I'm not really expecting much other than graphical upgrades, presentation upgrades for NHL 22 with this potential migration to FrostBite.
I'm gonna give you my thoughts. SD says NHL 19 was solid. I have no quarrels with the game, honestly. I know, DJ, you're more of a hockey guy than I am, but I love NHL 21. Graphical upgrade, yes, but I don't see anything mechanically on the ice that I need to see them really, fix. That's just me personally.
You got 20 minutes?
Man, we gotta talk about we gotta talk about the NFL. Man. We gotta talk about the NFL, man. We can go that far, but no, I'm dead serious. Like, but I am the casual NHL gamer. I will say this. I have no shame in saying
you
it.
Want to talk about coercion and convincing and no forcing? I convinced that man. Hold up, that man to play NHL.
No, I'm very I'm very casual when it comes to that, and I love it. I mean, I had NHL 18. I didn't get 19 or 20, but I got 21. I've been playing that. I love it. I just can't say that they need a lot of changes, but you guys will know better than I do. But
I see preliminary. Yep, Oya Saxa. There we go.
What did you say anything about it, Bills? About the just possibly moving Frostbite?
I don't have much on it. I don't think it's going to fix anything that I have an issue with in the game. So.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. I think as far as
knows the issues I have.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you got 20 minutes?
Yeah. We'll see, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Have they confirmed they're moving to next gen?
Well, that's
I don't see
that's the point. They wouldn't move the Frostbite or potentially move the Frostbite and not.
Yeah, I don't.
I think they are. No, wait a minute. Hold on.
Everybody else.
No, I think they already said that 21 was the year they weren't going to next gen.
It was the year off.
After that,
they did the same. They did the same thing with 15, right?
Yep.
They did the same thing with 15. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. So yeah, I expect 22 to be on next gen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about these free agency moves or whatever. I'm gonna pull up some that has happened. I know, and I'm glad that King David is here because King David, him and his Jaguars have done a lot of stuff. I want to know his thoughts about the Jags, and I'll put his comments up on the screen. Bills, since you was not here Tuesday, what based on what you know, what are your thoughts about the free agency move so far?
There are a lot of good teams doing some good things. A lot of good teams. I should say a lot of teams doing good things. A lot of teams doing some stupid fucking things. Look, this is the move that sticks out to me.
What's that website that you had last time, Bill? I mean, DJ.
Sport Track. I can.
Yeah, Sports Track's pretty good.
Yeah, I got it.
With the free agency and stuff like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, cool.
So Ryan Fitzpatrick going to Washington is maybe my favorite move of free agency. Washington has had this predictability, staleness to their quarterback position for some time, probably since RG3, I'd say. And now you have a guy who, yeah, his lows are pretty low, but his highs are pretty high. And honestly, his lows haven't been very low the past few years as far as his really bad games. You add him to a team that doesn't really need him to be a superstar quarterback, even a star quarterback. They just need him to, add that unpredictability factor. And I think Washington becomes an instant contender.
Really?
Of course. I mean, I'm not going to say Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to take them to the promised land, but in the NFC East, I think they're easily the second best team in the NFC East. I don't even think it's close.
Okay.
We've talked about Ryan Fitzpatrick before. We know how it ends ultimately with him, unfortunately, and he is going to be a bridge quarterback for them. But at the same time, it's going to be going to be a very entertaining and a very interesting bridge.
He's 39 years old on a 1-year contract. This is very, you could say, high risk, high reward.
I think it's a low risk, high reward.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I say high risk because of you have Fitzpatrick do what he do sometimes, and he can set you back by 4 games. But then again, the other side of it, he can put you ahead by 4 games.
Well, because here's the thing: in the situation they were going to enter into this year, they were probably going to be looking at a quarterback situation they'd have to reshuffle, and they weren't really, based on the roster I was looking to be even the second best team in the NFC East. They were trying to just kind of assess what they had at quarterback. But now you're having a guy that can get hot and have you competing. And, it's because Ryan Fitzpatrick has never been about arm talent. It's never been about arm talent.
No, he made that clear in his press conference.
Yeah, it's been about decision-making. And just like Complimentary said, Fitz is a great leader. Look, there's a reason Brian Flores did not want to bench that man after he started him, which is why I said he shouldn't have fucking started him in the first place. And I said this on air. And that's why Ryan Fitzpatrick galvanizes teams. The issue is he's not your quarterback of the future, so it ends up kind of fucking things up because he's such a great leader. He's not going to slide. He's going to take some huge hit, get everybody pumped up. He's, he can throw fucking straight up dimes when he wants to. It's like I said, he makes Washington more unpredictable and honestly more electric as an offense.
Yeah, also coupled with the fact that we also signed Curtis Samuel.
I saw that too.
That was something that was long overdue because I think we were trying to get him in the trading deadline last year, but he had that game against us also last year. And I think another year before. I'm like, he's been in my radar for quite some time too. So,
by the way, Chicago, good job playing yourself. Andy Dalton. Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, damn all that.
It has nothing to do with Andy Dalton either.
No. Why is this guy right here still in the league?
Who?
Mike? No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. And I'm going to tell you why we're not doing that. When the Raiders were on, what was it? When they were on fucking, when they were on Hard Knocks, he still had some talent left. And I told people when he was on Tampa Bay, he had a lot of potential.
I agree with you, Bill. It's not the fact that he don't have talent. It's just that when he gets on the field, he don't do enough. I'm like, what? I'm surprised he's still around.
No team to believe in him.
I'm surprised he's still around. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be around. I just thought he was gone by now. I said
the Jets should have traded for him the year before they actually drafted Sam Darnold.
I remember that. I do remember that. I remember you saying that. I
And
do
the
remember
last
saying
thing
that.
that happened was they didn't trade for him. He got benched, and then he ended up on the Raiders, and he lost a second job to fucking Nathan Peterman, and that was
God. That guy.
My thing is, I'm just surprised that he's still around. It's not that I don't think he should be able to. I just thought he retired.
State of franchise sports. You clearly didn't watch Mike Glennon for that short period of time in Tampa Bay. I'm telling you, I'm not talking shit. Mike Glennon was playing well in Tampa Bay. I'm not bullshitting you.
King David said that man just tanked the Jacksonville to the first overall pick. He said so that counts as value, right?
Oh,
this dude state of franchise sports. Oh yeah, no, we shouldn't have went and got Mike Glennon. Let's just stick it out with Geno fucking Smith because that worked out so great.
Mike Glennon, I'm with you. I don't think Mike Glennon is a bad quarterback. I almost forgot about him. I thought he just went home. You know what I'm saying?
I thought he just went home.
I just thought he went home. I just thought he went home. I had no idea. Yes, Geno was cheeks, state of franchise sports. We could put that on the screen so everybody will know once again he was cheeks and he has a weak ass jaw. What is
in Tampa, hold on. In Tampa, his rookie season. No, they weren't good, and they went 4-9, but he had 19 touchdowns and nine picks on Tampa. Who was he throwing to?
Like
a washed up Vincent Jackson?
Hey, don't do that. That man just passed away. Don't do that to that man.
Wow.
What does that have to do with anything?
Be
nice.
On the field exploit.
Be nice. Just be nice. Just be nice.
Look, Vincent Jackson was a problem on the Chargers in his first couple years on Tampa. He was really good. That man
fell off
by the time Mike Glennon.
I think after his second year with Tampa, he was done.
Yeah.
But no,
be nice. Good years in San Diego.
Be nice. He passed away recently. Rest in peace to Vincent Jackson.
Yeah, rest in peace, Vincent Jackson. Boy, we're talking about be nice. What did I say? I said a watch. Jesus Christ.
Be nice.
Okay, that's like saying if Jerry Rice passes away tomorrow, and I'm like, what was Matt Hasselbeck working with in 04? A washed up Jerry Rice? Everybody's gonna be like, be nice.
That's right. They're gonna be like this. Be nice, Bills. Be nice.
Stick him using bitch. Fuck him.
Okay, I got a question though, because SD comes up with a pretty good question. He said, if AJ Green stays healthy, could be a second option for Kyler Murray and AZ. Wait a minute.
I think he was just making a statement.
It should have just kept.
Oh yeah, it's not a question, but it is a statement. But yeah, what are your thoughts about him going to Arizona? Is Fitz still there?
No, he's a free agent. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he is a free agent. That's right. That's right.
Which is weird. He hasn't decided whether he's going to retire or not either.
Well, that too.
And I can't see him in another uniform, honestly.
I just think Arizona didn't want to wait any longer. Did he? No, he didn't say.
I gotta see if that's official. I'm not putting that out there
because he hasn't made it official. But they are taking a gamble on AJ Green being healthy. Now he has been healthy recently, but not at the point where you can rely on him for a whole season. I mean, the stretch of the last few games to the tail end of this past season, he was there. But you don't want a guy who used to be the number one just to be there.
So
this man should not sign to another team. I can't see Larry Fitzgerald on another team.
So what I said
in Washington.
I bet you could.
So what I said about AJ Green, and I don't think people give him enough credit for this. Mm-hmm. He's a great mentor to younger players on teams. Even when he didn't want to be, after he kind of gotten ornery and they, the Bengals never really put much around him and they just had a bunch of undisciplined fucking players, he still was being a mentor to Marvin Jones. He's a mentor to Joe Mixon when he first came in the league. So that's what I think his role is going to be more so, is going to be a mentor to younger players. I think he can really bring something as far as that's concerned, especially considering that they have two really good young receivers in Christian Kirk and Danny Isabella. Is that his first name, Danny?
Who?
Who?
Isabella. He's a problem.
Oh, okay.
And this is another person. I can't see him in another uniform. Why Patrick Peterson is another uniform? It's like really weird. It's really weird. He signed with Minnesota. It's like that's like really
I hope
odd.
he's just there for the money.
Wait a minute.
I don't see them really.
Do they still have what the fuck is his name? They still have Xavier Rhodes?
No, I think he's gone. He's gone.
That dude was a problem for like 2 years and it started getting cooked.
Yeah. He was nice at one point, but
that was weird.
The Patrick Peterson, I cannot see him in another uniform. But Patrick Peterson is fairly young.
He's a free agent. He's only 30 years old. What the hell happened with Xavier Rhodes?
He's a salary cap casualty.
Yeah, because Chicago had to cut one of the. I forgot
because I remember last episode we went down the list. DJ.
No. I'm saying Fuller, who was on Chicago. He was
Fuller. He's a casualty too.
Yep. Yeah, they just released him today, I believe, because they were going to trade him initially.
I forgot he was on the Colts. I forgot he was on the Colts. Now.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, yeah, Patrick Peterson is only 30 years old, but he seemed like he's been in the league forever.
Now I'm saying Xavier Rhodes is 30, which is but it's crazy.
But see, you would think though, but you would think. Hold on now, wait a minute.
Years old?
Yes, Patrick Peterson is 30 years old, and you would think he's like 37. And Xavier Rhodes is the same age as him, and it seems like Xavier Rhodes has been in the league maybe 4 or 5 years.
So Pat P came out as a junior.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
But it doesn't seem like it seems like he's been around as long as Fitz. You know what I'm saying? It seems like they've been around. Yeah. It seems like they came.
I don't know about that. That motherfucker.
No. But if you, I'm just saying, if you think about the names,
yeah,
it seems like they've been around. They damn near came in a league together. It just sounds like it.
He played in the Super Bowl they were in.
Who that?
Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, I think he did.
He did.
But I'm just saying. It just seemed because Fitz came in the league in 2004.
Yep.
Obviously, Peterson didn't come in at that time, but it's like you've heard Peterson's name so much, it just seems like he's been around forever.
Well, so he's also had somewhat of a resurgence because he had some type of thyroid problem that was causing.
No, he had he had reversible diabetes that was reversible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, diabetes that was reversible. So I think he had to sit out a half a year or something like that because of it.
Yeah, he had to do something. Him gain weight. I remember I watched it.
Yeah, it made him gain weight, and he had to lose like 30. Once he found out that the diabetes was reversible, he ended up losing like 35 or 40 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, that dude was the best corner in the league for a few years.
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
Since SD brought up the Patriots, let's talk about this.
Oh boy,
let's talk about
yeah, I'm glad that's why I wanted to talk about this again because you weren't here last episode.
Man, I wish you would have heard what I said.
What did you say?
That they were triggered off of Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl, so now they're like,
I believe that. I honestly believe that. I believe it.
Let's start off by saying my pet. when Belichick either retires or is fired, they will be my pets. Until then, no. So let's get one thing straight here. Let's just start out with this statistic. Before free agency even officially started, the first day people really started, offering deals, he'd already spent more money in one free agency period than the last fucking 8 combined on the first day.
Yep.
That's an indictment on him and his. See, here's the thing. And this is why I love that we made a playlist for this fucking podcast. Because you can go back and listen to me say what? He's being complacent because he has Tom Brady. He's being complacent because he has Tom Brady. He's been complacent over and over, year in, year out. I talk about us losing a guy in free agency. And then we lose another guy in free agency. We trade somebody. We enter the year with no targets. We enter the year with bad targets. Every single year, I'd say the same thing. We have Tom Brady. He's complacent, and he knows that. Tom Brady fills a lot of holes, and he's going to try to just, figure it out with Tom Brady at the helm. Now look, Tom Brady's gone. Now the motherfucker going to start spending money. But he starts spending money on players that they're not even big boom players. They're just
a bunch of pieces.
Jonnu Smith is good. Really good. Hunter Henry's good. Really good. Can you name another really good player out of that bunch? Judon? Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think he got some good. I think he got some good players, but I don't think there's nothing that stands out. I feel like he got a bunch of pretty decent pieces,
and they overpaid for them.
Yeah, because they got like two of the top tight ends in the free agency period. So now they're going to be running, and that's what myself and VF talked about on Tuesday was the fact that he's spending for the first time now. Tom Brady's out of the door, and then two, it's just like, okay, well, you signed Cam Newton, so you're basically going to be running double tight end, heavy sets with misdirection, whatever you think you can come up with that will help Cam Newton be successful in this offense, including getting him a weapon on the outside, which Aguilar is like a decent 2. Not even.
They did get Aguilar as well, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got him a decent 2, but not a.
For all of these people, like, it's amusing to me because I look at what they paid this year and I think Brady could have taken a discount if he was still here, and you could have got these pieces and we'd be looking at a Super Bowl team because it's fucking Tom Brady. And when I said this, nobody listened, and they said we're going to rebuild. And then once again, I go back to the playlist. What did motherfuckers say? What did I come on this podcast with 3 weeks into the season? They claim we were tanking. This is what tanking got you? The 15th overall pick, a bunch of fucking cap space. You lost 3 of your offensive linemen. You gained 2 tight ends. And some defensive players you don't need because your defense is actually pretty good. Oh, Jalen Mills is knocking down the doors of fucking shutdown corners. Give me a break. And then people are still saying, well, it's going to be even better because then we're going to trade Stephon Gilmore and we'll have more cap. Who is he going to sign with that? Like, you're getting rid of players that want to be paid. And I told my friend this. It's the same shit as wash, rinse, repeat with the Patriots. When it's time to get paid, you will either magically have disciplinary problems, magically be benched, or magically be traded away. That's it. If you're a transcendent player, if you're a player that's going to demand another paycheck, if you're a player that is going to demand another paycheck, is a transcendent player, but is not one of those two, like Tom Brady and Gronk, you'll be traded. And guess what? Tom Brady, they tried to trade him. Didn't work. Robert Kraft said, yeah, you're fucking mine. Gronk tried to trade him. He said, I retired. Guess what happened? They both ended up on the team next year. They won the Super Bowl. If you're not those two guys, you'll be traded. Lloyd Malloy, it's time to get paid. Asante Samuel, they said they benched him when it was time for him to get paid. No rhyme, no reason. So that's my thing. Now all of a sudden he wants to start ponying up, but look who he's fucking paying. Like, yeah, you couldn't trade. Well, they traded. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. But it's just funny to me because now Patriots fans are happier than pigs and shit. And I'm like, you still have a quarterback who can't throw the ball consistently. You still have a running back who can't run the ball consistently. You lost 3 of your young stud linemen. And yeah, I mean, Pat Young, Chung called it a career. Said, "Well, thank God, maybe the backside will get better on the Patriots. Maybe the back end will get better because holy shit, that motherfucker! If you didn't put him in the box to defend the run, he was useless. That's why the Pats' coverage last year actually looked pretty good because he wasn't back there. Sorry ass.
Well, you know they put because Jalen Mills is actually listed as a safety.
Yeah, they got him a safety.
It's gonna be hilarious.
And this is what I'm talking about. Belichick thinks he's this fucking genius. I said, yo, here's my thing. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and we've had this conversation on here too. Like I said, I can say it for the third time. I'm glad we have a fucking playlist because people can go back and see that I'm not bullshitting. I remember I brought up how many times the Patriots were outside of the top 10 defensively. It was 13 times in 21 years. They were out of the top 10 in either points or yardage. You know what this motherfucker told me? Well, points is the only thing that matters on defense when it comes to statistics. I said, you out of your fucking mind? So that's how you're going to twist this. You're going to say that points are the only thing. Okay, so if Pat Mahomes is putting up crazy-ass points, and the other team can't score simply because either they have no time and the Chiefs are running the hell out of the ball, or some other scenario is preventing them from scoring, that suddenly means that the defense has an effect on that? No, the defense directly has an effect on how many yards they give up, what their third down conversion percentage is, things like that. So that's the rate that people will go to. That's the low people will go to defend Bill Belichick. They'll say shit like that. Oh, it doesn't matter how many yards you give up. Okay. So I'll just end it with this. When these motherfuckers are 9-7 on the outside looking into the playoffs, I'll be laughing again. That's it.
I don't even know if they're gonna make 9-7, to be honest.
I don't think Cam's gonna last the whole year.
I don't think they're gonna make 9-7. That they'll probably they got maybe 6.
They can go 9-7.
I think they can, but I just think they will.
I'm looking at the division. The Jets are well, shit. If the Jets sign Juju,
yeah, and you got the Bills or the Bills.
Yeah, these motherfuckers might be 7-9. I laugh even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying. I mean, I can see them going 9-7, but I don't think they will.
Imagine them going 7.
Noble said that last. He said that Tuesday.
I know, right? No, he said it Tuesday.
Yeah, he said it Tuesday. He said that.
Young Noble.
Noble's stupid, man. He always
Your new quarterback is Andy Dalton. Why don't you talk some shit about that? Just talk some shit. The Pats don't have an easy division anymore. It's low-key been like that a couple years now. But here's the move I want to hear from y'all. Will Fuller to the Dolphins is interesting. That happened today.
Mm-hmm.
That gives them a deep threat. I mean, I'm not one to believe this Deshaun Watson noise, and we heard that months ago. Even with Tua at the helm, they're putting together such a good team around him.
All right, think about this. Jacoby Brissett just signed down there too. What are your thoughts about that?
I hate it because he never gets a chance to just. Why can't he just get a chance to just start unopposed?
Don't be surprised if he does get one.
Unopposed though?
No. It'll probably be opposed, but don't be surprised if Jacoby Brissett actually takes that job.
But what I'm saying is, Jacoby Brissett, and this is where the race kind of comes into play. So many of these quarterbacks, not of our ilk, I'll put it like that, get opportunities unproven to start unopposed. Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Jacoby Brissett went undefeated on the Patriots, did he not?
Right.
But Jimmy Garoppolo gets his own team. Jacoby Brissett technically gets his own team. The quarterback fucking retires, and he still doesn't have the team unopposed.
Shoot,
you're right.
I'll bring up even being drafted unopposed. RG3 gets drafted number 2, and who do we draft later? Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I remember. So that's my thing. But overall, it is interesting. Garoppolo got $100 million for what? You know for what? Well, Belichick saw something in him. The Bills also signed Mitch Trubisky.
They got Emmanuel Sanders as well. That's really good for Josh Allen.
Emmanuel Sanders, but God, are they?
I'm not even worried about Trubisky. I'm not worried about that.
Josh Allen gets hurt the way he plays. Shit.
I try not to think about that shit, man.
Now I'm thinking about it. Trubisky's that idiot that'll go and play well and have some people.
But see, but did we not say this though?
Maybe we should turn it.
But did we not say this though? We've always said Trubisky has his moments where he looks like a top 10 quarterback, and then he turns right back around, look like he needs to be in high school football. He's that inconsistent. Huh? What'd you say? He froze up again. Trubisky's the next. Come on, man! Don't do Rex like that. Don't do Rex like that. Nah. I think at least Rex is consistent. At least Rex was consistently
50-50. Yeah.
Nah, man. Trubisky's like wildly inconsistent with his play. Rex is like you kind of know what you're going to get.
Well, yeah, but Rex was 50-50 though.
Yeah, but like
it's pretty much
Trubisky is not 50-50. Trubisky's like he's a 95 overall quarterback some games, and then the next time he's like
a 2.
Exactly.
That's where we looked at Rex when he was here in Washington. We looked at the same exact way.
I think we're saying the same thing, but 2 different words, 2 different meanings. I mean, 2 different verbiage.
Extremes.
Right. I believe that Trubisky is more of an extreme than Rex. It's like Rex is like this on the scale, and Trubisky's like this on the scale. It's like you're going to get this and this from Rex, but with Mitch, you're going to get this and this. That's
I'm about to say, yeah, that is a matter of perspective because I feel like that's the same thing with Rex. Well, at least while he was here, I don't care what he did in Chicago. He lost the Super Bowl, whatever.
State of franchise, so you can't go lower than the 12 overall, though.
So, but yeah, when Rex Grossman was here, I'm like, he had that great shootout going up against Tom Brady, and then, well, I don't know what happened next week, but no one remembers what he did before or after that game against the Patriots. They just remember that game against the Patriots, but it was like, oh, it's a high shooting affair. Then this bullshit defensive pass interference that wasn't called.
King David understands what I'm saying. He said the highs and lows are different. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's like with Rex Grossman, you'll get 3 steps forward and 4 steps backwards. With Mitch, you'll get 6 steps forward and like 7 steps backwards.
Yeah, but you're looking at, but the thing I contend is that you're looking at it, obviously, he wasn't on your team. We're saying, like you said, we're saying the same thing. And I said extremes because it's just a matter if he's on your team doing this versus you're just watching the car wreck happen. It's a different story when you're in the car wreck versus watching it.
Noble says a Bears front office wouldn't know a good quarterback if it smacked them in the face.
They wouldn't even know victory if it smacked them in the face.
SD has a good question. He said, do I think that the Atlanta running back group will get better? I don't think the running back group was a problem per se. I just think that Todd Gurley he just ran out of gas. I mean, you look at Edo Smith, you look at Brian Hill, they were actually pretty decent. The problem was, Alex Mack was hurt. You had a couple of big guys on the offensive line that was hurt. I mean, you can't run if you don't have a good offensive line. I think it's a lot of young talent, but I do think overall, I think they're going to get better because they're going to draft the running back sometime in the 2nd or 3rd round. But the group they have now is not that bad. It's just that you're dealing with.
Yeah, yes. I can hear you.
I'm about to take a fucking drive because I'm tired of this goddamn Wi-Fi in this motherfucking apartment. I'm about to get my car and take a drive because I know this shit won't die if I fucking.
Okay, who's doing this? SD says, why are people downplaying Justin Herbert Rookie of the Year season? Who did that?
Yeah,
who did that?
Nobody did that.
Yeah, I don't know who did that. State of Franchise Sports says Atlanta needs to draft defense. I do agree. We got rid of all of our. We just got rid of all of our safeties, so definitely we need to get some defense.
I got a question about Atlanta because Julio got 2 years and an option left.
They just restructured Matt Ryan's contract. They just did that a couple.
Matt Ryan's contract. Like, what's the direction for that?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. They just got a new GM and a new head coach. I have no idea. But the fact that they did not make any moves in free agency outside of trading for a tight end, I think, and I told DJ this and everybody who's here Tuesday, I think that the Falcons are basically trying to build the team through the draft. I don't think there's probably going to be maybe 2 years of nothing, and they're going to just build through the draft. It kind of sucks because you look at Matt Ryan's years. To me, it feels like they're probably just going to waste the next couple of years on his career, which is, I don't think that's fair, but
Right.
it looks like that's what they're doing. I mean, Terry Fontenot is the new GM, and you got Arthur Smith, the guy from he was the offensive coordinator for the Titans, and the fact that they didn't make any moves this offseason so far, I think they're just going to get a bunch of rookies in there and say, have at it. That's what it looks like they're doing right now. That secondary is going to be Swiss cheese, at least for the first year. Because I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's like you're going to have to draft a bunch of guys in the secondary. I think they got rid of Keanu Neal. I think they got rid of DeMonte Casey, and they got rid of Ricardo Allen. That's 2 strong safeties and a free safety. So it's like you have no safeties right now on the roster that I know of. So Tadal says right here, I say soft rebuild for the Falcons. That's what it seems like. It's going to be a soft rebuild. Unless they know some guys who can play some pretty decent secondary, they get a good running game, and I still think they're going to probably draft a quarterback. It looks like in that division, you're probably looking at it possibly 8-8, at worst another 4-12
Do you
season.
think they restructured his deal because they might have a trade in place?
Yes, I do believe that.
Mm.
I don't see no other reason to not restructure and don't sign anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to restructure, that means you got trying to get money under the cap space to sign people. The problem is they didn't sign anybody. So with that being said, the money might be a little more palatable. I ain't gonna say palatable. It's more, it's more desirable for teams to say, "Hey, we would trade for him because the money is low, easier to deal with."
I was talking to my boy. I'm like, dude, the Falcons are a perfect example of how in the NFL you can't win with a decent roster and a great coach. You can win with
I think everything was in place for the Falcons. I think what killed the Falcons was just poor decision making.
But I'm saying the Falcons, like when I think about them, they had a great roster, a coach that didn't fit them, in my opinion, and also lost the locker room after a certain point. But on the other flip side of things, you can't win the NFL with a decent roster and a great coach either. It's like a balance. You have to have.
You gotta have a balance. I agree.
You have to have
You have
to have a very good roster.
And I think that Dan Quinn, and I think he's an excellent defensive coordinator. I don't think he should have ever been a head coach, in my opinion. Looking back on what I know now, I just think he should have never been a head coach. Yes, they went to the Super Bowl after 2 years, his second year as a coach, but look at that team. I mean, you literally had like probably one of the greatest offenses that ever played football in the NFL, and you had a bunch of guys that was on that defense that basically followed the defense of a Dan Quinn. But and once after you started losing games because of bad decisions, the team just said, "Fuck it, we don't want to deal with this no more."
But every Super Bowl winner I can remember was great on at least one side of the ball. The really great ones were great on both sides of the ball. But more importantly, they had a really good coach. The Falcons had this thing where, they were great on both sides of the ball that year they played the Patriots. And they had a coach who was out of his element. And it's unfortunate.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Like I said, you literally probably had one of the greatest teams of all time in that team, and a few decisions basically killed that argument.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because here's the thing, right? In basketball, I've seen bad coaches win championships.
Right.
Because they had great players, and those players were coaches on the floor. Well, I'll tell you that back. I haven't seen bad coaches win championships. I've seen average coaches win championships.
And like I said, I think Dan Quinn, overall, knowing what I know now, I believe that Dan Quinn is a bad head coach, but I think he's going to be. I think he's an excellent defensive coordinator. This is why I said I don't know about the first year, but definitely the second year, Dallas defense could be a problem because I know what he's capable of. But as far as him being a head coach, I don't see him being a head coach again. That's just me personally. I just don't see it. Not how everything fell apart in Atlanta. I mean, you got to, like I said, that first year. I mean, that second year when they went to the Super Bowl. It was more like that second year when they went to the Super Bowl. You literally just had. I mean, you had Kyle Shanahan and that offense basically doing what they do. And even though that Dan Quinn was the head coach, he ran that defense basically like how he did in Seattle. Right. And that was basically like you had that 1 or 2 year window where you can keep that together. Well, Kyle Shanahan goes to San Francisco and you bring in, what's the dude? He's the coach at Texas right now. Jesus Christ. What is his name? He was at Alabama first, Sarkisian.
Yeah.
And once again, bad decisions killed that team. You're running sweep plays on at the goal line.
I was there for that game.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's like it has nothing to do with the team. It's just that you have guys on the sideline making bad decisions. Even in that Philly game, it was the same thing. You called a play where you ran a rollout with Matt Ryan to the fullback, a pass to the fullback.
Yeah.
Why would you do that when the game's on the line?
His was funny though. You remember all those instances as a Falcons fan. When I brought that shit up as a Bucs fan, people told me I was overanalyzing the game and need to give people a break. I said, no, I'm not going to give Todd Bowles a break. He needs to stop calling these plays and these situations.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you have a few instances where some players can change the plays at the line or whatever, like with Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator. Yeah, there's very rare a chance where you see a defensive guy change a play that a defensive coordinator calls. Offense, quarterback, you see that a lot. I can say, well, you see it more than not. But with defense, I mean, even when Brian Urlacher was the linebacker for the Bears, he didn't change the plays. You see what I'm saying? On defense, that doesn't happen much on defense. Hell, even Lawrence Taylor didn't do it. And he's one of the greatest defensive guys ever. They just ran the play that was called. Right. So, it's just poor decision making not only cost us a Super Bowl, it caused our franchise to be in the situation where it is now. And it should not have been. We should have been at least, I would say we should have been at least two NFC championships, minimum.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
So overall, who do y'all think is winning free agency right now?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's funny because they actually have a stat on this.
They have a stat on who's winning free agency.
I hate that.
On potential, as far as based on who they picked up, and it's based on who they picked up and potentially how many games they could win as a differential to the previous season. Right now, according to PF, was it Pro Football?
PFF.
Yeah, they're saying that Washington is winning. According to that.
I mean, I was going to say that, and considering that Washington won the division last year with that entire quarterback situation.
What do you think about Buffalo?
So who they get besides Emmanuel Sanders and Shitsky?
Oh, who else did they get? Hold on, let me look. I thought they got a couple more pieces.
Trubisky.
You're right the first time.
Let me see.
Because I'm trying to think of teams off the top of my head. I mean, anybody who says New England's on crack. And there are people out there saying New England, which is
I can see why people say New England, but I don't agree with it. Now I can see why based on all those signings. I can see why they say it, but I don't agree with it. No. No, I think that's it. They got Emmanuel Sanders and shit. Nah, yeah. Let's toss that.
I'm trying
comment.
to think. I'm trying to think of teams right
Yeah,
now.
'cause-
Preliminary says Washington.
Yeah, because right out the back, Bill, you said this from day one. New England's probably spent the most, but they spent the most on like
Above
I don't know.
average players.
Yeah,
That's what I say. But that's why I can see why people say it because of the quantity, not the quality. But I disagree with it.
yeah.
Young Noble says the Bears are winning free agency with Dalton.
Here's one for you. Well, here's one for you. To think about Dallas,
Possibly Miami's another one.
because think about it, right? I mean, as stable as Washington's quarterback situation may pan out to be, Dallas basically stabilized theirs. We saw what they were with him. I don't know. Maybe Dallas?
Yeah, I can see that.
Especially considering the amount of cap room I believe they still might have left.
Let's see. I'm just looking at it. I just changed my query to all positions, and I'm looking at the teams that people went to. Damn, Cincinnati signed a lot of people.
Okay, this is what they're doing it by divisions. This the biggest winners by division. This is what Bleacher Report put. In the AFC North, they say the Cleveland Browns.
What did Cleveland do?
I'm about to find out.
Say Cleveland Browns, Joe.
I was about to say they were-
Hold on. Let me take this back. This might be another year. This is a year ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I'm thinking of like, what did Cleveland
Why would they do this?
I don't yeah, because this is the first day of free agency officially, right? Or yesterday?
Yeah, because it was the moratorium period for
Okay,
tampering.
I got it right here. CBS Sports. Right now, they're saying that the Washington Buccaneers, the Chiefs, and the Jets.
How many players did
The
Houston
Chiefs are
sign?
retooled their line.
Yeah,
Retooled their line, so that's an interesting one. What was the other teams you said? The Bucks?
yeah, the Buccaneers, the Chiefs, and the Jets.
I'll tell you
Washington.
what, Buccaneers going to be some big losers if they fucking lose Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
I don't like where that's standing right now because he hasn't re-signed. Not re-signed, but he hasn't signed.
Oh. Just to go back to the Deshaun Watson situation, just remember Tyrod Taylor's there too.
Real quick before we finish, I want to do this. I'm gonna pull this up so we can do this.
Yeah,
This is a good one. This is a good article right here. I want to put this up here so we can all see this. Let me put this up. This is because it has the grades of all the teams. So this would be a good one.
Oh, and just to respond to SD, and we didn't even talk about the corner they signed.
Who?
What's his face?
Didn't we say we were going to talk about the Jaguars?
No, I said King David since he's here. He can speak on the Jaguars.
Because we signed William Jackson.
All right, look at this. Arizona got Marcus Golden, Kevin Beacham signed AJ Green. They traded for Raiders Rodney Hudson. They got a B for that.
Rodney Hudson was actually a pretty good pickup last minute because he's going to be released.
Yes, he is. He is. He is. I agree. They gave him a B- for that. Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, shit, I forgot they got JJ Watt, but that was
Yeah, they didn't even put that on here. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, it is. Added JJ Watt. They put it right there. Okay. It was before. They said it was before free agency, so I guess it didn't count. But still, Atlanta, they only traded for tight end Lee Smith. Upper grade is incomplete.
I think you got to give it to Arizona before we even read the rest of these teams because they got JJ, an offensive lineman, and AJ Green.
Two offensive linemen. They got two offensive linemen.
Yeah, two offensive linemen. Oh yeah, Beacham's good too.
Yeah. Baltimore Ravens, Zeiter, Bowser, McPhee, Derek Wolf.
But it's in who they lost is what.
Judon. And he said he lost.
Judon's not the only one they lost. They lost it. What was it? Ndikwe? They lost him to the
Ravens. They lost Mark. They lost Mark Ingram too.
Well, nobody. Me and
Wait,
Bills,
no, I thought the Ravens signed Ndikwe. He was there last year.
He was there last year.
Where'd he go?
To the Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Buffalo got Matt Milano, Darrell Williams, Feliciano, and Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders, yes, but
They gave him a B plus. Real football gamer, how you doing, man? How you doing? Good to see you here. He
Yo,
always
how you
comes
been?
in. He always come in and ask a question. I'm gonna put it up here real quick. Hey guys, I got Madden 21 for $17. Use at GameStop to try it out. I can't believe I did it, but hey, if it's good as Madden 20, I'll see a W because a new roster. Yeah, you for $17, you got good money. You good for 17. You good. Panthers. Taylor Martin, Pat Eflin, Denzel Perriman. That's actually a pretty good pickup right there. They paid a Denzel Perriman. And edge rusher Hassan Reddick. Why are they giving everybody B's?
Hassan Reddick's not because that's the customary grade to give people.
And CBS, man,
but they
trash.
they were B minuses, B pluses, so I'm like, there's still a scale to this.
All right, here you go. They franchise tag Allen Robinson. They re-signed Mario Edwards, Andy Dalton, and Deion Bush.
But wait a minute. When Chicago just reported is talking to what's it, Galladay, or what was his name from Detroit?
Kenny Galladay.
Yeah,
they've been talking to him. So
we franchised Allen Robinson so we could have a quarterback not to throw to him. I should say not have a quarterback to throw to him. Then we're going to talk to the star receiver that we're going to overpay and also not have.
What grade y'all think he got? What grade do you think the Bears got?
C.
A B.
You know what? Because I was about to say C for CDs.
Andy
nuts.
Andy freaking
Yo. I was just talking about the B's and again.
What's even more insulting is putting a plus next to the D.
Look at young Noah. Yeah, they put a plus like it's okay.
Don't worry,
D+,
you got a 60,
D+.
You got a 65 instead of a
59.
63.
A 59.
Yo, I thought that was going to be.
Oh no, it's not. It's a 69.
Yeah,
I thought it was a B or a C minus. They gave him a D plus.
That's terrible.
All right, Cincinnati. They got Trey Hendrickson. I can't pronounce his name. Awuzie. Yeah.
Azue?
And Mike Hilton. Awuzie. This goes back. This right here. These right here. This got what's his name written all
Mike
over it.
Hilton. Or
okay. Yeah, no, this got Dan Quinn written all over it. This got Dan Quinn written all over it.
Cincinnati though.
So what you thought they got?
BS.
I'm saying a C.
C plus.
There you go, C plus.
Oh, C plus.
Yeah, they got a C plus. But those three signings right there, that got Dan Quinn written all over it. Cleveland
over there. It should have been a B.
Oh wow. Cleveland.
Cleveland got Sam Johnson. They signed Tack. I see C minus on this one.
John
and Rashad Higgins.
A.
What?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know why? Here's
why.
I'll tell you why. Cleveland has this tendency to overthink after one season. And because they had so much success last year, I think just the fact that they signed that safety, which they actually really needed, they signed some defensive pass rush help, and they got their wide receiver back. I give them an A. They didn't really need to do much. I get it.
Wait a minute. That's Cincinnati. I don't know why I said that Dan Quinn. That was Cincinnati. Well, I thought that was Dallas.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was
don't pay me no mind. Don't pay me no mind.
You weren't paying me any mind when I said it.
I get
Dallas Cowboys got CJ Goodwin, I mean. And they signed the offensive tackle.
Inseki, that's his last
Inseki?
Yeah, because he was on our team as a backup lineman.
They gave them
what is this Deshaun Watson?
They gave him a C. Denver Broncos, Justin Simmons, Von Miller, Ronald Darby, Shelby Harris.
I would say a B minus because Darby's a good pickup.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pickup for him. They give him a C.
Because they're gonna ding him because they haven't really addressed quarterback.
Detroit.
E.
For
entertaining.
Yo,
they got a C. They got a C plus.
Hear the story? No, you got to give them an A because Michael Brockers credited Matt Stafford for being an improvement over Jared Goff.
It was like, just for that.
So they got to get an
so you can play with Jared Goff some more.
Green Bay. Look, their moves to be to be determined. Technically, they signed Aaron Jones for a 4-year, $48 million contract. Incomplete. Wow. Texans. Oh, this should be good. Oh, they did a lot of moves. What the hell?
There's a lot of players they signed.
They're gonna give these clowns an A.
Probably a D+ or whatever.
So they got Shaq Lawson, Marcus Cannon, Mark Ingram, Gruel Hill, Kirksey, Roberts, Collins, Vernon Graves, which actually that's a pretty decent pickup. Tyrod Taylor. So they're trying to push
quarterback.
See, that's right.
Terrence Mitchell and Farrell Brown. Isn't that Farrell Brown used to play for South Carolina? I think he did. I think he used to play for Carolina. I'm not sure.
Good players. They gave him an A. Watch.
Not even a C.
That's funny.
Colts got Marlon Mack, but they did get Carson Wentz, but they graded him incomplete. Yeah.
Really these are free. This is supposed to be like free agent.
All right, King David. Here's your Jaguars. Cam Robinson, Shaquille Griffin.
You probably gave him a B-.
Rashawn Jenkins.
King David, what's your guess
what's your guess, King David?
Yeah, don't move it yet.
Oh, wow, they signed
Smoot, Hyde. They got Carlos Hyde. I talked about it. I think this is a really good pickup. And if they
okay, I'm changing mine to B.
Sidney Jones, Marvin Jones, Malcolm Brown.
What's your guess, King David?
Yeah, what's your guess? What's your number?
Okay, he's saying what I'm saying.
Oh, he said a B? He said B.
All right, here we go.
C+. Close.
That wasn't
close. C+ is close to B. C+ is the next thing up to a B.
It's close to B-.
Dude, the grade point average is a difference.
There's some tiers to B's.
But honestly, though, when you look at this, all these signs, I think they should have got a B though.
I think they should have got a B. Yeah,
I think they should have got a B for that. Kansas City. They got
they should have got an A.
They got Thuney. That's how to say that. Taco Charlton.
Oh, it's Thuney. There's no R there.
Yeah, Taco Charlton, Damian Williams, and Kyle Long. Wow, I'm surprised they got Kyle Long.
C+.
They got an A because they replaced the alignment. They should have got an A.
They got an A. You're right.
No,
you got an A.
Whatever.
Las Vegas Raiders. They got Yannick. They got Hudson, John Brown. John Brown, that's a good pickup for them. They need a quarterback.
Zay Jones back is. I forgot.
Yeah.
There.
Ngakwe.
They got a B-. Okay.
They got pass rush after how many years? Anyway.
Yeah, because Max Crosby is okay, but Cleveland Farrell is a bust. I mean, that dude's oh my god.
Well, you didn't need pass rush, remember?
Los Angeles Chargers, they got Corey Lindsey, Michael Davis, and kicker Mike Bagley. All right.
Got a kicker on it.
C.
A+. What?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Wait a minute, that's an A-.
The teams that can stay put and don't need to make any complicated moves, they're giving them credit for, I guess, not doing anything drastic. I feel them on that. That's why I agree with Cleveland's score. Who's at the Los Angeles Chargers?
Hold on, I was on the phone. All right, Rams, after the Chargers, it should be the Rams. Leonard Floyd, that's the only one that they showed.
They'll probably get like an A. Just for
no, they got Matt Stafford too. I mean, they did pick up Matt. Though. Yeah, it doesn't. You're right. B.
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins. Isaiah Wilson. Wow, they got Isaiah Wilson. Why did they pick that kid up?
What
Jesus Christ. Yo, dude's a head case.
This nigga's name is Bernardrick.
Yeah, Bernardrick. McKinney.
Lord.
And they signed Justin Coleman. I don't know too much about Justin Coleman.
Shaq Lawson getting passed around like a Broad Street booger.
Yeah, they gave him a C. Minnesota.
D.
Dalvin Tomlinson, Nick Vigil, Chad Beebe. Is that Don Beebe's son?
Yes, that's the kid that I think we were talking about in the XFL.
Yeah, he was an XFL. I was about to say. And they got Patrick Peterson. These are actually not bad moves. They got an A-. Not bad.
Shut up, Pooh. You know the path to getting the A. We can scroll right past that.
You think so?
Nah, let's see. They're getting an A, bro. You already know. They might get an A plus.
Oh, they got Trent Brown. Wow, that's a really
They might
big
get an
pickup.
A plus.
This right here is a big pickup because he's a pretty good offensive tackle.
See, I told
Kyle
you
Van Noy
Jalen
as
Mills was
well?
listed as a safety.
A plus.
B.
Got it.
I was like, eh.
So, you know they're giving.
I'm looking at everything that's here. I'm surprised that they didn't. Well, I guess because of they re-signed Cam and they probably knocked him down
they
a
have a
bit.
brain like me, but if they did, they would have given it a C.
New Orleans, franchise tag Marcus Williams, re-signed Jameis Winston.
Drew Brees is gone. Give him an A.
Drew Brees is gone. James Hurst for 3 years. They got a B plus. I mean, they got a B minus.
Why can you not read pluses and minuses tonight? What is going on?
I don't know, man. I'm on something wrong with me, man. I'm on drugs.
Yeah,
Jameis Winston.
we already
Let's talk about
highlighted
that real quick.
those issues.
Let's talk about that real quick. So, Sean Payton said they're going to have an open competition. I can't believe they didn't say this. They have an open competition at quarterback between Jameis Winston and Taysom fucking Hill. Like, seriously. What is there to compete for? The better quarterback is clearly Jameis Winston. The team, the player that gives you a better chance to win is clearly Jameis Winston.
I agree with you, Doug Thomas. The Raiders do need a free safety. I agree with that. I think Jameis should start, honestly, but
bro, we've seen Taysom Hill. Wasn't he in the worst quarterback, the worst combined quarterback performance like ever this year against Denver when they didn't have any quarterbacks and the league wouldn't postpone the game?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Terrible.
Giants, they re-signed Leonard Williams, got Devontae Booker, John Ross.
Oh,
I can
you want to talk about a bust? Leonard Williams.
Yeah.
Yo, bring up Leonard Williams. NYK might go on.
Yeah. Oh, they gave him a C.
They gave him a C.
Yo, you bring up Leonard Williams around NYK, that motherfucker getting mad.
Speaking of getting mad,
yeah, the Jets, they signed Corey Davis, got Marcus May, Carl Lawson, and Gerard Davis.
C minus.
B.
I think Corey Davis gives them a B. I'm with you on that. Oh, they got an A. Wow.
What?
I believe it, bro. They made some good moves. I forgot about them.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Imagine if they signed
To be determined.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Did the Eagles have a coach yet?
Yeah, the simple guy that had the intro press conference and was just saying some simple shit.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Cameron Sutton, Zach Banner, Vince Williams.
Roethlisberger's still there. Give him an F.
He's so stupid. San Francisco.
Wait, they got
a C.
Well, with them signing Trent Williams to that big contract, that's definitely his last big contract.
That gets him to a B automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, they signed a 6
And then Alex Mack on top of that. Yeah.
And Alex Mack, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Jason.
Alex Mack?
Yep.
Yeah, they got Alex Mack as well. Kyle Jusic, Emmanuel Mosley, Jason Verrett.
Yeah, Trent Williams signed the largest contract this free agency. So, fuck you, Bruce Allen.
They gave him a B.
Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense. I give him that. Seattle got a C. Come
on, bro.
Right? They didn't.
They didn't have no commentary. They had no commentary behind there. Yeah, no commentary behind their picks.
Seattle needs to get an F because this whole Russell Wilson situation stinks to high heaven right now.
Tampa Bay got Shaquille Barrett.
This franchise tag Godwin. Signing their people.
Yeah, Levante David and Rob.
Yeah,
that's a really good deal for Rob right there. That's a really 1 year for $8 million.
They don't talk about the extension with Tom Brady. They don't list that on there.
They didn't put that on, but that's a steal for Rob.
That happened before free agency.
They got an A.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to be A because they're doing exactly what they set out to do. We were going to bring some guys back.
This is another good move for the Titans.
That's a
Getting
really
Bud
good move.
to get that's a really good move for the Titans.
Autry is a really good move as well.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah. Let's
they
see.
got Janoris Jenkins.
Janoris Jenkins is so, but that's not a bad pick. But it's so.
Why is he still in the
I
league?
give him a B.
Who that?
Janoris Jenkins.
You know,
That was a new. Oh, they gave him a C plus.
They got a C plus. Yeah, they gave him a C plus. Here's your team, DJ Washington football team.
This is gonna be an A minus.
Sheriff, Ryan Fitzpatrick,
Sheriff,
Dustin
not
Hopkins.
Sheriff. There's no I in there.
Sheriff?
They call him Sheriff. It's
Yeah, I
Sheriff.
said Sheriff. It's Sheriff.
Yeah.
William Jackson, Chris.
That's how they say it in the South. Sheriff.
They gave him an A. You're right, DJ. Gave him an A. That's not bad pickups though. Oh, that's everybody. Yeah, it's all over. Okay.
It's awful.
So I'd say it's between the Jets and the Washington football team.
Yeah, Jets, Washington, and the Bucks. I can see that. The Chiefs.
Teams that ain't bad, I guess, right? But I mean,
I guess that's it. I don't have anything else, man. We touched everything. We did everything. We set out everything. We talked about everything we set out to do. Went through all of teams because I didn't know this site existed, but it's pretty good information. Pretty good fun right there. Guess we could do our Bills, man. What you got, bro?
oh man, glad to be back home. About to rest this weekend. Made some lasagna last night. Sent the picture. And DJ, yeah, that lasagna is actually banging, bro. That's about it. I mean, I'm trying to get some gaming in this weekend. I saw 2K had some sort of update. Didn't really do much to gameplay, but I guess it
Player
just did more for player likeness. But then they said something about playbooks suddenly disappearing. I don't know. I just talked about that, I don't know, months ago. So we'll see if it actually corrected that issue. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. I'll probably just get some gaming in this weekend, like I said. Finally watch Cobra Kai. Probably watch The Last Dance again, and yeah, chill out.
That's what's up, DJ. What you got, bro?
Well, it looks like I'm gonna be gaming for probably majority of the weekend. Maybe head out. I don't know. I'm like, it was a good show tonight. You know, shout out to the chat for the heavy participation. I know Subliminary did ask about where we're going to talk about the NCAA tournament because it started today. The play-in games were today.
Yeah, I just remembered we didn't talk about it, but I know I'm kind of more the college basketball guy than y'all.
Yeah.
No, I follow college basketball a good bit too. So, but it just started. So what? Yeah, it just started. So it wasn't much to talk about. But we are going to follow it as it goes.
And the fact that Georgetown's in it for the first time in several years, I can actually peek into the tournament and see what's going on because I think the first game is against Colorado. Yeah, and Georgetown's in with the 12th seed in the
12-5 game.
So that's going to be. Let's see what magic we can pull out of that. I don't expect them to win that game. I'm like, we got the Big East championship. You know, fuck Villanova, Seton Hall, and Creighton. We won it. Actually, UConn, but you know, UConn had to shit in the bed. So I think we've ran this run a little long. But other than that, on top of that, I'm definitely gonna be rewatching the Zack Snyder Justice League again. So that's going to be another 4 hours I'm going to be spending on that, just watching it again because it's a lot of stuff. Well, obviously it's 4 hours, but there's a lot of stuff in it that's really good. And other than that, just going to be chilling till next week. See you guys on Tuesday.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to be I got a lot of things I got to do this weekend, so I'll be I gotta find another bookshelf because I want to get rid of this white bookshelf behind me. I want to put another bookshelf back here because this one is like in the way. Yeah, I mean, just look at it compared to the one that's up.
Get rid of the black bookshelf.
No, because No, I want to get rid of the black. I want to get the black one because it's up against the wall a lot better than the one behind me.
Yeah, you like
Stop
black
the white
walls up against the
bookcase
wall,
hate.
huh? Mhm.
You know, I'm going to move that stuff, all the stuff on there, onto the new one. So I'm gonna try to buy one of those tomorrow.
Told
And
the
I
black
need to get
bookshelf
some. I need to
assume
get
the
some sound
position.
panels on. DJ, I'm trying to get some sound panels in here too because I got a little echo in here. Other than that, man, I will be streaming tomorrow. I don't know what time, but I'm going to be streaming. More likely, it's going to be the evening. And I don't know what I'm gonna stream yet. And also, I haven't talked about this. If you guys haven't already, go over to the Facebook page, the VF Baller Facebook page. I'm gonna put that in the link in the description, so you guys can check that out. Go over there and like and follow because I'm gonna start putting some gaming content over there as well. I don't know when exactly. Probably sometime within the next few weeks. Young Noble, I'm not surprised. You say he's banned from Facebook. I'm not surprised. But
why would anybody be surprised if Noble was banned from anywhere?
Right. But yeah, I got that on and popping. Shout out to everybody who's already are following and liking the page over there. I'm going to start doing like I said, I'm start doing some content on Facebook gaming. I'm probably going to I don't know if I'm going to spread out which content, like maybe like over here I'll do the sports stuff and over there I'll do the non-sports stuff, or I might just dual or triple stream throughout all three platforms. I don't see why not. That might be the case, so I'll do all of that. Also, I got a podcast coming up. It's called the VF Cast. Hopefully, you guys check that out. March 27th is the first episode. I'm going to do a video being more in depth than that, so don't worry about too much information. I'll do a video on that as well. Probably maybe Sunday or Monday. That video will be up. Other than that, I'm out. We're about to be out of here. We will see you guys.
One more thing.
Go ahead. What you got, Bills?
So there's a wrestling game I was talking about, Retromania. I think we might have talked about it briefly on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that game comes out on Xbox, I believe either 23rd or 27th. So I'm gonna try to figure out a way to stream that because it kind of seems like a fun game. And yeah, so just be out on the lookout. I'm trying to figure out the schedule for streaming, like I said, because it's hard and I want to be on camera, so I need to do a whole new setup and it's a lot of shit. But
yeah, trust me. Yeah, I'm going to be very busy with the content creating, guys. Like I said, I'm basically about to be pushing 3 platforms at once, so it's going to be a lot going on. I'm going to be all over the place. I just need to find a way to get it organized. So please give me to the end of the month. I have it all under control, but I'm trying to do this for you guys. I'm dead serious when I said I really enjoy doing it, and I appreciate the support. Just trying to continue to create some type of ecosystem, not only just for myself, but for First and Framerates as well. So hopefully you guys will continue to follow us and continue to be entertained. So that'd be great. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know, Pooh. I'll probably end up being over there on Gleamish one day as well. So I don't know yet. I'm actually doing
this engraving vids.
Oh man, look at look, I do this every time, man. Look at this guy right here, man. This is the man right here. I want to be like this guy when I grow up. This guy got Team Keep It Clean. Y'all go over there and check out his channel, especially if you a Ravens fan. Go over there and check it out. He got some good content. Man, hey man, I'm trying to be like him, man. But yeah, man, I'm trying to push this stuff, man. I feel like I've been on a treadmill, and there's a lot of stuff I want to do. I just need to start implementing it. So I got to get like you, Engraving, man. Man, be pushing. You got a brand over there, man. I'm just trying to follow in the footsteps, bro. Straight up, I ain't trying to be funny, but yeah, man. But I'm about to get up out of here, man. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. I'm glad you guys are hanging out with us. We really appreciate you guys chilling with us. We really do. And we'll see how it goes. You guys stay safe. You guys, please stay out of trouble. And don't let women give you massages. Please don't. Please don't. Not this day and age. No, don't do it this day and age. No, don't.
So
no.
You want these men to have other
No, don't
men
get one at all. Don't get one at all. I mean, that goes without. I'm not saying let men give you massage. That goes without saying. I shouldn't have to say that. Shouldn't have to say that.
Sign a contract beforehand.
Y'all be careful.
Yeah.
All right,
Sign
y'all.
a contract.
And y'all
keep
good night.
Employed.
All right, peace.
Peace out. This man
I was
said,
gonna say, don't let
have
her
a-
blow shit turn into